Why is nobody here?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Touching Tips, a podcast dedicated to the world of PSVR 2. My name is Karen Alive and Well, and I'll be introducing your hosts. From the west of Ireland, he is a visionary, a leader, a sensual and generous lover, as I can attest. Petrifying Pumpkins. Pumpkins was once a successful businessman before a tragic incident left him with stage 2 ligma of the mind. No longer able to run his multinational POG corporation, Pumpkins turned to his other passion, PSVR. Hence this channel and later podcast were born. Pumpkins is famous all over the world thanks to the various Easter eggs dedicated to him in PSVR exclusive Firewall 0 Hour. Most famously, if you go to the hangar map in the air control tower, you will see radar screens with various aircraft designations that, when combined, spell out petrifying pumpkins. It really does make him better than you. From Mexico, he has many names: El Chupacabra, El Fuego, El Pasión. But around here we call him Mr. 777 or Jackpot. Mr. 777 moved to the United States as a wee lad. A former Xbox fan, Jackpot gave up on Team Green when he discovered the future is virtual reality, and has been on PlayStation since. Jackpot lives with his mother in her basement. She reached out to Pumpkins, begging him to let Jackpot be a co-host as she worries about his lack of social communication skills, as you will soon see for yourselves. He turned to marijuana at a young age and has reached a stage where if he were to ever stop smoking, the shock to his system would kill him immediately. Jackpot has a heavily stained pillow that he calls Amanda. He believes that she is real and that he is in a long-term relationship with her. His catchphrase is, "Bitch." And finally, all the way from the frigid wastes of Canada, comes Muzz. Muzz has a passion for maple syrup and discussing PSVR 2. He once got lost in the frozen tundra of northern Canada with his best friend. The ordeal was harrowing and led to Muzz eating the remains of his friend in order to survive. Shortly after, Muzz turned to VR gaming as a way to escape the horrors of the reality he leaves every time he puts on the headset. It's worth noting that while Muzz maintains his best friend was dead before he began to consume him, later studies of the remains hinted at the possibility that the friend died from infections that were caused from bites, though due to a handling error, the evidence was deemed inadmissible and Muzz walked free. He also has a cat. Without further ado, let the show begin. I've been Karen Alive and Well, and I will now hand you over to the strong, sexy...
What the fuck is this?
And I'll
Probably
unmute
not
you.
working.
Unfortunately, probably not. Test.
test speak, lads, so that we can see if your bear goes
Test.
up or down. All right, that looks
Test.
Hello, can you hear
The
us
bear.
properly?
Can you see
good
the
to
bear
me.
going up?
Looks good. I see bears going up. I see bears going down. We're
Bar
in bear
charts are
chart
working.
territory. We're in bear chart town tonight. And Donnie gives us a test, thumbs up. Everything's good. My camera's a little bit more zoomed in than I would like,
Good.
but I think we're just going to deal with that. All right.
You bitch. I'm looking at it right now at the stream. I fucking strategically put eggs in there so the stream can see it, and you chopped her off the fucking camera.
I didn't touch your. I can see eggs.
Whatever.
It's
Anyway,
just your box has always been this size. You know, I haven't changed the size of your box. We all have like a rectangle window thing going on there. Anyway, I see Donnie in there, who was earlier on saying smash the thumbs. Thank you very much, Donnie. Roy Schwartz was peeping. Chopped was saying, aren't we a day early? It's only Tuesday in the US. Chopped has obviously missed the memo, as they say in America. You missed the memo, guys. We don't do Wednesdays anymore. All right, Tuesday is the new Wednesday. We had several people say, you know, why don't you do it on a day when Without Parole are not doing their podcast, so that maybe more people will watch. So we're testing that out and see how true that is.
several, or I told you.
You did, but a few commenters as well. Maybe some people who like to watch both, or like, you know, I don't want to have to pick one or the other. Obviously, they're going to pick Without Parole instead of us, so we're going to lose that battle every time. So it might make some more sense. Instead of us forcing Brian Paul to change his day to Tuesday, I said maybe we'll, out of the kindness of my heart, I will move this to Tuesday.
We'll let him have Wednesday, all right?
We'll let him. You know, we're nice. We're nice like that. So yeah, there you go, Chopped. Now you know the truth. Jackpot, of course. What do you mean when you say Decepticon Ghost Cock? What does that mean?
Nothing. Those are the only two emojis that we have, so I just put them.
Okay.
What do you mean?
That was like a message, like
Because-
he's a dick, or he's a penis, or he's a ghost. Or something
Well,
like that.
that all that
He's
fits.
not around. He's
all
not
that
around.
fits perfectly. But I just put them because those are the ones we have. Maybe you should add some new ones.
Right, well, maybe
He
you
has
should
been
win one.
ghosting us lately, so maybe that's.
What do you mean? Maybe you should win, bitch. I won.
You won a Discord emoji. You didn't win a coveted YouTube emoji.
Well, what is it? When do we get those?
I don't
We
know. It
never
has to be
fight for
bigger.
those.
It has to be bigger. But yeah, I need to do that more often. Anyway, LSB is there shaking his head. How you doing, LSB? And Fozzie Bear. And of course, Donnie and Ray with giving us the thumbs up. I was going to ask if your head got bigger, says Donnie. Is it that bad? Yeah, I might zoom out a little bit in a sec. Chap says, well, that sucks. Wednesdays are perfect. I'll watch you over the overrated parole. Damn. Fighting words from Chopped. Chopped probably banned from that community, I would imagine.
He has an alt account with a cat name.
Chopped the
cat.
game cat.
Chop the game.
So lads, how have you been while I zoom out real quick?
Good,
Fine.
good.
Good.
Fine.
Trying to get some more. Trying to
Fine,
get
just
through
fine.
Call of the Mountain still. I think I'm close to the end. Not really sure though. Like it's hard to indicate playing that game how close you are.
There's so
to
much
the end.
content. There's so much content in it.
Yeah,
And it's
it
a
just keeps
full
going.
So much
feature
climbing.
rich
So much
game.
climbing. So
And
many
the
mountains
so
to climb.
realistic visuals is like hard to progress because you're like, fuck, that's a cool view. I need to stop and watch. And then like obviously when you're doing that, you think back on the questicles and you're like, damn, they can't even imagine what this kind of visuals are like. And you just cry.
It
and
is
weep.
good.
What do you mean?
You're
Red
weak.
Matter 2 looks pretty
Up there.
good for a fucking mobile chip.
It does. But that's like nothing going on there, you know, no body,
Then
there's no
shut up.
combat.
And
It's
see, I keep
just-
telling you, and then you keep making other excuses.
Does it
Pick
look
up
as
a
good
tin
as it does on
can.
PlayStation VR 2 though? I don't think it looks as good.
No, of course it doesn't. Of course it
No, but it's a lot cheaper and a lot more satisfying.
The dots that they have in Red Master 2, they get colored dots instead of just the normal black and white dots. That's what it looks like on Quest. Chap says, okay, well, can't stay. Tuesdays don't get you donos. Well,
Damn.
I'll have to risk it. So I might get more views, Chopped, which might lead to more donos in the long run. But thank you anyway, Chopped. Never a game cast. I'm a dog person. All right. Well, I
Damn.
expect you to watch the archived version of this video to boost my numbers, Chopped. All right. You can do it tomorrow. You can pretend it's live. Anyway, this episode is number 61. And last week, some of you might have noticed, but I don't think anyone did, that I accidentally put number 61 in the thumbnail of last week's episode. So now there's two thumbnails with number 61. But I think we got away with this. Since the last episode, we've had that interview with Frank, which went up on the channel, which I'm pretty happy with. Got a good response there, so that was pretty cool. What else is happening?
Someone didn't like it very much, but everyone else did.
Yeah, there was a couple of detractors, but that was expected.
Yeah, dude, I was working and then I looked, there was like 50 messages. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, I don't have time for this. The drama.
I think it was a healthy discussion that we had in the Discord.
Yeah, it was good. That's why I like the Discord. Everybody just says what they feel, and then at the end of the day, that's it. Everybody's still fine.
So yeah, join the Discord as well. Link in the description. And Chop says that was a good interview. Thank you, Chop. I do appreciate that. Because I was a bit nervous. I've never done an interview before. I probably never will do one again. But I'm happy with how it went. And Frank was a good interviewee, I thought. Gave me some good answers. I wasn't expecting him to say much. I thought he'd be like covered in red tape, wouldn't be able to say this, that, or anything. But he said way more than I kind of expected. Still stuff he couldn't say, obviously. But, I was happy.
He did it.
And Chop says he used to watch Frank when he played Spark. I used to hold a world record in Spark. Briefly.
Did you?
I did.
Liar. Probably when it first came out. You probably got a review.
When it first came out,
there was nobody
playing. I was competing against people on Reddit, so I was like, here, check out my score. I put a little clip in my video. They saw the way I was throwing. I was like, damn, he's doing the backhand maneuver. And I was able to get way more speed doing it that way, where they were doing their overhand trash.
I'm going to need a screenshot. I'm going to need a screenshot.
You got to go back to like the fucking 2016 or whatever the hell that was. Anyway, this episode is kind of going to be, I feel like it's light on topics. Might not be as long as other episodes, but that's fine. I know. It ends
up being like 5 hours long.
Yeah. So should we jump into the first one, or is there anything else you lads would like to say to pad out the intro? Have you been playing anything, for example? Anything on the
Call of the
PS4
Mountain.
too?
Well,
oh yeah,
Call of the Mountain and
Navia.
And I, as soon as I finish that, I'm gonna get into the Paradise Hotel.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
You got a good one to look forward to there.
Yeah. Phasmo. I play Phasmo a little bit with fucking LSB and Decepticon.
Yeah, but you were
very
saying,
janky.
Yeah,
why are you
saying it's janky all of a sudden? It's not the first time you've played it, so I don't understand.
Nothing changed.
Maybe because we haven't played in a long time, or maybe there's a couple more. Just because I feel like every time they update the game, there's like little things. So like the hands. I think this Decepticon dropped the flashlight, and they were attached to his foot. And for me, it looked like the flashes were just attached to his foot by a string. And for him, he said his whole hands were on the floor, just glitched out. So nice. it couple things, but not like nothing is game breaking or anything. But maybe that's why Sony are being little bitches and not letting it out yet. Which I would prefer them letting it out and let us play, because honestly, those things are not. They're not really that big of a deal. But it is.
There's so much worse. There's so much worse on the PlayStation Store. So that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make zero sense.
No, I know it doesn't make any sense. I know that they're being. That's what I'm saying. They're being bitches. But it's really really fun, dude. The fucking game. And there's a little bit different stuff that they're adding. Still, it's only the fingers, but it's still really fun. You can't get everything, I guess.
You gotta wait for the Horror 2.0 update before you get more than the fingers. But by the way, Chopped has just hit us with a $10 due donation, so a big alert might pop up and drown out one of you if you're speaking. So just keep that in mind.
Chop.
Chop says this will be the last one until Wednesday is back. GC night, y'all. Tuesday is adult time. So you kids have a good night. And there it is. Oh, it's the Chopped Hulk Hogan one popped up as well.
Hey,
there you go. Meant to be.
Chopped has just
donated I threw the smoke at the same time as the
fucking moist. This will be the last one until Wednesday.
Special effects.
GC. Night, y'all. Tuesday's adult time, so you kids have a good night.
All right, he's finished reading his out. Thank you very much, Chopped, for the $10 dues. I will put it towards. I should really put it towards a PC.
But there's a laptop, bitch.
No, not a laptop. I want a desktop. Laptops are not good value. They're not good value.
No.
Plus, I never bring the laptop anywhere. It's just on this desk all the time. So it's like, what the fuck is the point of having a laptop? Anyway, War Room is here. It says Touching Tips is adult time, and he's right, because I mean, look at the name. The name suggests We're touching tips, and what's more adult than that?
Are we?
I wish.
We are right now
I
at this
wish.
very moment.
Under the table. We're not in different countries. You just can't see. We're all on the same table.
We linked together like
There's
fucking
3 cameras. pointing at our face.
fucking avatars, little
Like a triangular tip touch gun.
just linked together. Anyways,
Why just turn my camera like this, you guys?
let me stand up.
Nearly saw Jackpot. He nearly saw Jackpot. All right. Jackpot, you said you playing Phasmophobia, but I see you're playing a lot of that, the finals as well. Flat.
I've been playing a lot of the finals by myself because LSB's a bitch.
I actually downloaded.
So if anybody has the finals and wants to play, hit me up. But yeah, the finals is good. Battlefield's still really good. But yeah, we've just been playing the finals. Obviously, we played Breachers, fucking Firewall, which is always still fun. Even though we were getting our asses kicked for a little bit, Firewall is always fun. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay, let's jump into the first topic then, shall we?
Do it.
Which is Vertigo 2. Because Vertigo 2 was out in the wild. This game has been kind of delayed for multiple times, even though the delays have always been kind of short little delays of a few weeks or something. There's a bit of a mix-up as when the actual date was going to be. They kind of jerked us around a little bit before we finally got the release dates, which kind of felt like it came out of nowhere a bit. But anyway, I haven't played this. I don't know if you've played it yet. I was going to get this. Felt like it was going to be day one, but then I watched the Without Parole review, which gave it like a 7.9 out of 10, which is still a good score. And there's been other scores as well, like Gamertag, I think gave it like a 9 for PSVR 2. But when I watched the Without Parole one, it was like, there's all these technical issues and these bugs, and this what's good there is very good, but then the frustrating stuff might be too frustrating. So I kind of felt like, maybe I'll just wait for a patch or two to sort out these issues.
It's coming pretty soon too. I don't think they're gonna wait too long on getting that stuff sorted out. So
you didn't get a copy of this, right?
No, I tried to, but I'm too small. I'm small fry. So they're like, sorry, pal.
Did they even respond to you?
They did. No, in fairness, they did respond. They're just like, we've got a limited amount of copies and we have to prioritize. I can't remember the word they use, but basically, I'm not big enough.
Basically
which is fine.
Trash.
Which is fine.
Get out of here, trash.
Infinity Lefty using his members comment thing. I don't know what the correct term for that is. Anyway, he says 3 months as a member. Message translated from English to Irish by Google. Thank you very much for that bigotry, Infinity Lefty. It's appreciated. And thanks for being a member. But yeah, there's not an awful lot we can say. I've been looking at the Reddit, and there's been like a mixed reaction to this. Like I think a lot of people were kind of hyped to this from the PC viewer. People saying, "Oh, this is like Half-Life," or maybe even better than Half-Life. Obviously not visually, but it's like got that
That's
DNA.
the thing that confused me. I thought a lot of people were saying it was one of the better looking games. I remember people were saying that. So I was a little shocked when everyone was saying like, "Oh, visually it's not that impressive. It's more about like the gameplay and what you can interact with and everything." So, well, wait a second. I thought I remember everyone saying how like amazing it looked. But
it is amazing considering just one dude made most of this. Like he probably got a little bit of help, but I think the majority of this game was just one person doing everything.
Yeah, that's fine, impressive. But does it look good or not? Like it doesn't make a difference if it's only one guy.
I would say for an indie VR game, it doesn't look bad.
No,
I feel like the problem is that people overhype the games, man. And I've been telling you this since PSVR 1. Like when that game Fract came out, everybody, hey, let me finish, bitch. Everybody was jizzing over that game, right? I'm not saying this game is not good, but everybody's like, what happened with saying fucking the zombie game? I already forgot what the dog and the fucking Mexican hat.
Arizona Sunshine.
Arizona Sunshine, right? Oh, everybody were talking. Remember? Oh, it's better than Half-Life. It's all this stuff, and yeah, it's not a bad game. But like, I feel like not me, because I always fucking have precautions. But people in general overhype the games, because they're like, oh, this game has a better graphics and all this stuff, and apparently it doesn't.
Yeah, but this is different, which is why I was saying no, boss, and trying to cut you off because you were wrong from the get-go. Because this game had been out on PC for months and months, so people have already played it on PC. And those are the people who have like hyped it up. They're like, "Hey, well, we've played this; it's great. This should be game of the year. This should be game of the year." And a lot of people were upset that like the Jeff Keighley Game of the Year nominations. They're like, "Vertigo should be there,"
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. Like I like the all the varied kind of gameplay elements that you have, and I like how there's lots of boss fights, which you don't.
Bugs where you need to like reset the game or whatever to,
Yeah.
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. But obviously, not really anything else we can say because none of us have played it.
Yeah, we need to play more games, don't we?
Yeah, well, me too.
Just start playing.
I'm broke. That's why I got to rely
Me
on
too.
codes.
Me
So, so that hurts. But I did get a code for Bulletstorm, which I haven't put in as a topic, but maybe we can just briefly mention Bulletstorm because a couple of early impressions did go up today for that game, even though it's not out until Thursday, I think, the 18th. And Gamertag was like, I would say, very negative on us, at least the Quest version, where he wasn't at all impressed with it. So a lot of people were kind of looking forward to that one, I think, even though it's like a PS3 era game. But he was disappointed.
And then there's also Beardo Benjo, like I was telling you earlier, that he was like saying how great it was, and it was a amazing VR experience in his little playthrough. So it's very back and forth there.
So like Gamertag was saying like the Quest version was dog shit, and then Beardo Benjo was saying the Quest 3 version was great.
But he was saying the AI was also dumb as fuck.
Yeah, the AI was like that was one of the big complaints. But
that was pretty funny, that little clip that he did with the guy shooting his gun is like turning really slowly, following him with the machine gun.
I wonder, was it like that in the original as well, like on PS3, do you think? Or maybe that's just like a viewer specific thing. Chap says, by the look of the chat, I'm the only one watching. Your true fans are a Wednesday TT. Maybe. Damn. Look, it can be a trial thing for now. But
there's 23. There's 23 people there. It looks like.
Keep in mind, it's a dead channel. Yeah, they're just listening. We're so fucking interested that they don't want to take their focus away from everything we're saying. Chopped. All right. Well, I'm sorry, I am. I just wanted to make you lads feel special as well. But listen, if you're going to force me to say the truth, I'm going to say the truth. All right.
Listen.
Infinity left his cooking dinner. So there you go. Other people are probably doing all kinds of things and having us in the background.
Damn, cooking dinner?
There you go.
What are you cooking? What are you making?
Fozzie versus 23 bots. They both said it at the same time. Bitches. Yes. Yeah, actually, good question, Donnie. But he always does this. He always says he's leaving and then he never does.
Classic Chop.
Yeah, classic Chop behavior. He's one of those guys that will fake his own death and then like hide in the bushes to watch his own funeral. One of those kind of people. See who turns up. Anyway, Bulletstorm is
all right, guys. Thanks for coming. I'm really gonna die this time, though. I'm really gonna die this time. Okay, bye, Chop. Bye.
Bulletstorm, I did get the key for that, so hopefully I'll be able to stream that tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow night. I don't know if it'll be in place of the vote, but I would like to be able to stream that before it launches. Because
it launches, I thought it was out already.
It's not out until Thursday. I'm not talking about Vertigo now. I'm talking about Bulletstorm. Bitch. You don't know the difference.
Well, play tomorrow then.
Yeah.
So you play that trash.
Wait and see.
How much are they asking for that? $30.
Look at the email. I need to look at the email. I don't know. No, I don't think it's that much. Chap says, just waiting for my lady to get here. I can't do that. I'm being cremated. Shit would be fucked if I tried faking that. It'd be like super easy to fake a cremation compared to burying a body. I think just need a bag of dust. A bag of dust will do the job. All right, so we're ready to move on to the next topic. Anything else to say about Vertigo or Bulletstorm?
No, maybe tell me ahead of time what games we're talking about so I can try to play.
Unbelievable. Who you talking to me?
Who do you think, Muzz?
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's the fucking Google document. Have you looked at the Google document? That's why.
Yeah, but when is the Google document made? The day of in the morning.
On the day. Listen, I have to wait until the last minute possible, so then all the news possible, because it's going to be late news, so I have to get all of it. Okay. Anyway, I'm not your mother. Okay.
Thank God. Next topic
is Honor and Juicy D-Day. Actually, let me open up the Google documents because I need to read out information about this one in terms of dates and stuff, because we do have a date. We got a new trailer. We got a release date for it. So it's coming out on the 23rd of January, which is not far away at all. We got that new trailer there. And on Twitter, I assume it's Reggie who's running that account. They showed off the improvements thanks to the First Contact Entertainment developers that are coming in there. They're like before and after shot of like on a map with like a plane. And it's like in the new updated one, you can kind of see like reflective surfaces and stuff on the plane. You know, probably not actual reflections or whatever, but it gives the illusion of reflections, you know, and improved shadows and stuff like that. So that's the kind of improvements they're making there.
Better audio too. Like the guns are supposed to sound better.
Oh, nice.
Improved gun audio, I think
Nice.
they said. And new maps too.
Yes, new maps get released or teased or whatever at the end of this trailer. 2 new maps. But the short beta test's been carried out this week. I don't know, like they're like just a couple of hours long. He's like, hey, everyone hop on for a few hours and we'll do something. And then it's like, okay, let's do it again tomorrow. But there's like an early access creator event happening this Saturday, which I'm hoping to get into. I think Frank is like organizing us, and he's kind of said that he can get us keys if we want to get in. Assuming we need keys. But if you're available Saturday, then
do we know the time
try
yet?
that shit out. No, I don't know the time. But considering it might be roughly this time, hopefully. Oh. But yeah, I'm still like, I'm looking at the footage here and I'm looking at the hands and, you know, the way they're holding the gun and stuff, and it's not. I find it hard to be excited for this game. It still looks very, very rough. But it does. It does have the 64-player thing going for it, like, you know, that kind of.
As rough as it looks, I mean, as long as they can like make the gameplay smooth and not like so janky feeling, I think it might be decent. And also like the audio was like pretty bad before. So if you have like good sounds coming out of your guns, like at least that'll help like make it feel a little better that you're like in a shooter and hearing all these people shooting guns around you. Or...
Yeah. Well, and the game, I mean, of course, we would like better graphics and all that shit. But if the game has this graphics, but like Mus says, they get the gameplay right, it feels satisfying to get, you know, kills and stuff like that. Yeah. And then the vehicles, because I've heard the vehicles were very janky, and it felt like they were kind of floating. Yeah. If they can just get it right, I don't think the graphics will really make that much of a difference. I mean, you see BattleBit, that game supposedly, I didn't even play it for a little bit, but the game was supposedly really popular for a while, even though the graphics suck for, you know, PC standards. So I think this game has potential, and I'm excited to see what stuff the, you know, people in there are gonna do. And it just all depends. I like the progression system, all that type of stuff they're adding. The only thing I didn't like about the trailer was the eye tracking to select your weapons. I have a feeling that is
First Contact infecting other games with their eye tracking.
Yeah. Reggie knows what he wants, you know.
It's probably gonna be optional. I have a feeling it might be optional, but we'll see. At least this game, it's because this game, even though I don't like that if they have that only as an option, but I don't feel it is as intense and as damaging to have that for this type of, you know, game, because you have more space. It's not as tactical, intense, you know, close quarters. But I still don't like the aiming with changing grenades or guns with the eye tracking. We'll see.
I just hope it doesn't feel too chaotic, because it's 64 players, and well, first of all, it's like, how often will there be 64 players playing this game, I wonder.
As long as it's fun, that's the thing. Like if it's broken or too glitchy, like when it comes out, I think it's just going to be dead on arrival. But if they can get it polished enough that like when you first try it out, like people that are just like, yeah, I'll give it a shot, and they jump in it and realize, hey, it's kind of fun. Like even though it's not high end graphics, but I mean, as long as the minute to minute gameplay is solid and you feel like you're in a battle.
I'm pretty sure it has like a Battle Royale mode as well, which would make it the only Battle Royale available on PSVR 2, so it would have that going for it too, and they should, if that's there, which I think the PSVR 1 version did have, but if that's coming as well, then they should really like lean into that too, I think. Johnny's asking how many keys you talking. I mean, get on to Frank. Send Frank a message, see if he can get... I don't know if it's keys either, by the way. How did we get in? Yeah, it must be keys if it's just...
It was keys, yeah.
Yep. And Chairface is there saying, let's touch them tips. Nice to see you again, Chairface.
Well, I think...
You're keeping well.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on. Keep going.
I feel like... This developer listens to the community, right? I'm saying others don't. I'm just saying talking about specific. He listens to the community. They listen to the community. So I feel like to a point we should really try this game, like everybody as a community, and really try to help them out and give them feedback, because I do think this game could be fun and could be one that we add to rotation, and it could be a popular one. But I think they really need us to test out the game and let them know what we really think, and I know they will listen and make the game, because I want this game to be popular. I want it to be good, right? Because it's fucking Battlefield pretty much. So that's what we want. So hopefully it does good. But I do feel like obviously they need our help just to give feedback. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Like it's the closest thing we got to a Battlefield. It's like a poor man's Battlefield, but if it's fun, then it's still might be worthwhile.
Yeah.
And I do really want to see exactly how the audio sounds now, because I think that's a really big thing in like big battle team games like that. Like, especially if they have the vehicles working a little better and not feeling so like boats floating on ice kind of thing. And if the tanks can actually like function without like not understanding what the hell you're doing in them. Yeah, but if you have that audio, like if a tank rolls up like on the other side of a building and you hear like the cannon go off and it's like super loud, that it actually like kind of startles you, like, oh shit, there's a tank right there. Like,
a huge difference now.
But if the tank shoots and it's just like bang, like it's just like, oh yeah, it's like not impressive. Like it doesn't make you scared of a tank or anything.
I think one of my big issues with the what was it? It was like a beta or an alpha or something that we played like a month or two ago. I don't know if you lads were there. Were you? I can't remember. I think Buzz might have been there at least.
Long time ago.
Yeah. I was in all the beta so far.
There you go. Well, when I finally unlocked the reticle thing, or the sight for the stem or whatever it was, and it's like I was less accurate with that than I was when I didn't have it.
I never used it. Yeah.
It was...
Every time I would look down the sights of my gun, the red dot would always be like glued to the very bottom of the of the lens. Yeah. So even if I tilted it up and down, it would still be like just stuck there, like at the bottom. It's just like, oh
yeah. So if they can fix that shit, then we could be cooking something. But Jeremiah thinks they need to lower that movement speed. He says it's quite the spaz fest, or what a spaz fest. Johnny says after every base that D-Day has had, it's improved massively every step of the way. I don't know, has it improved massively? But I'm sure they've improved. I haven't got to test it since the only one I've done, so maybe they have improved massively.
They got weapon skins. They got
incremental improvements. Yeah.
Jeremiah says you just get on the Discord and they will throw you a key. Well, there you go. And they know what needs to be done, says Donnie. LSP says, is D-Day enhanced only on PSVR 2 or is it coming to other viewer platforms? I think it's only coming to PSVR 2. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to, like, surely this could run on a Quest,
He really should try to get it on the Quest, especially with a 64 player count. Like you need to have people in the lobbies. Like you need to
100% crossplay.
Is this the same developer that did the RC flying game? Or no? Like a plane?
He's done a few. I don't remember all his past. Like he started on 360 making like arcade games on the Xbox 360, and he may have done the RC one as well. I don't know.
Interesting. So I was like, man, if he did that, he should just eventually add the planes to the fucking game too.
Yeah, planes would be sick. Then it's proper Battlefield then. So yeah, Saturday. I don't know if you can stream this. I don't know if you can stream that Creator event. I think it might be designed to like get fuzzage so that you're ready for launch to have content. Maybe, I'm not too sure. I need to look up the details of that with Frank. But yeah.
It would make sense if it's meant for like ironing out problems and stuff. Like, why would they want to stream that if it's more like a?
Well, this is it's called a Creator event. So I think the idea is just for people to get fuzzage and like get ready to push it on their channels and stuff. But Durban Brown is there with the Ghost Cox. How you doing, Durban Brown? And Jeremiah is saying he did the RC game as well. So there you go. Jackpot dropping some knowledge. The first time I've seen him do that.
What are you talking about?
But it's nice to see. There's hope for this young man, yes. Anyway, are we ready to move on from honor and duty? Duty.
Yes.
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 All right.
Everybody, if you got a key, if you're gonna get a key, do it so you can get feedback. The more
Yeah.
players, the more fun.
Well, they need the full 64 in the lobbies so they can actually test the game properly if it's a lot of people.
All right. Next game is a spooky one. Slender Man.
Is it?
Remember this guy? Remember
Slender Man's
Man?
back.
He's back.
He was all the rave like several years back.
Yeah,
Right.
like 10. Like this game is 10 years old.
Yeah.
Slender
Yeah,
the
there was
Arrival.
some kids that murdered some other kid because of Slender Man or some teenagers.
Slender Man made me do it.
Yo.
Fucking.
I always think Mothman. You ever see the Mothman?
Yeah,
prophecy?
with Richard Gere, I like that one.
Yeah,
I do like
that's
that
a good
one.
movie.
Yeah.
Fucking 70-year-old movie.
That shit's good.
Yes, I remember.
Shit's good.
Yeah.
Creepy. The
Movie's
phone
fucking-
call he gets,
movie's
like that, like gave me chills. You know.
Yeah.
Ingrid Cold or something. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
PSVR 2 only has 63 players, says Chairface. Damn. I think he's roasting the amount of people who've bought a PSVR 2 there. So anyway, this has been published by Perp Games. They showed off Madison footage, which we will be talking about next. But after that, they gave us this little teaser, and it is very short, like a 10-second clip, which I'm playing here, looping. It says it's coming soon. It doesn't say what platforms it's coming to, so it might not even be a PSVR 2 title. However, Perp Games do have a good track record of like all their VR stuff seems to be coming to PSVR 2, so I don't see why this wouldn't either. Basically, it seems to be the same game that released 10 years ago, but in VR. And this might bring back a lot of nostalgia for people. And obviously, horror games, always get elevated in virtual reality. And a game like this, which is kind of just centered around jump scares as well, is going to really, suit VR well, too, if you can handle it, which people like Jackbot can't.
You'll watch streamers. You'll watch it being played. Just as fun, right?
I don't know. How much is this? Nothing? We don't have any information.
Any information about it at all.
No price, no date, nothing. Just coming
That's
soon.
the thing, dude. It's just so many fucking games and they're like 20, 30, 40, $50. Like, fuck. Like, you don't. Who has money to buy all these games besides Dan?
I just don't have the time to play all these games. Like,
I think that it's be a short
I work
enough
too
one.
much.
LSB says, I think the game is based on the flat Slender the Arrival. Yeah, I think it is just like basically like Madison, I think, which is just a VR mode slapped onto like the flat game. Like Skyrim, basically. But yeah, I never actually played the original. I remember like there was like some indie person made like Slender the 8 Pages or something, and that turned into Slender the Arrival. So I don't know if it's like even a long, like from what I remember, it's like a short game, maybe a 3-4 hour long game. But yeah, there you go. I don't know. I probably would have been excited for something like this 10 years ago. But I think Slender Man's kind of lost his steam a bit, has he?
Well, especially with the games like Madison and stuff coming out. Like,
Yeah.
a little and Phasmo and all the other ones that everyone's looking forward to. It's kind of just lost in the mix, I think. But see.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, I'm still interested. I still like horror and VR. Only makes that shit better. But
It should be a cheaper one. Hopefully, it's a cheaper one. If it's like
Hopefully,
on the like $15 to $20 kind of side, then yeah, sure.
Well, for all we know, it could be a free update for people who already own it. So like they haven't given any
10 years,
details at all.
10 years of waiting.
Yeah.
You guys still got
so.
that game?
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. If they're going to make us pay for like Madison, if you own Madison Flash, you have to buy it again for VR. Anyway, speaking of Madison, let's move into that. And the video I'm playing here is like lengthy. It's an 7.5 minute clip of just pure footage, unedited. It is just like a sequence where the main character is in like, I don't know if you've watched this, but
Nope, I don't like spoilers.
Okay, well then just don't look at the screen then. But you're too scared. That's why you're not looking. But basically, main character's in like a flooded area, and some spooky stuff starts happening. And I mean, it looks good. I wasn't sure of it at first because like the area looked like it wasn't very detailed or whatever, but it is just a small piece. And then like they showed off the items that the person was holding, and they look slick and everything looked wet, and it had like nice effects going on. And the mechanic where you're using the Polaroid camera, you take a flash and then that illuminates the area and you see a thing running past and it's like, oh, that's cool. You know, that's gonna be fucking scary as fuck. And they're like, even there's a jump scare at the very end of this that actually made me kind of jump just watching this, and like a flash on YouTube. You know, it's like, oh. So I imagine that's gonna be, you know, make you shit your pants when you're actually wearing.
I always thought it would be a cool thing for a game to do is use the Polaroid camera mechanics. So you can take a picture and then like when you pull the picture out yourself and you can like do that to like get the picture to like come into focus. It seems like a really cool VR mechanic.
They do it in this, but like I don't think a picture appears. Maybe it was too dark or something. But like he shakes the Polaroid and nothing comes up. Like it seems to go dark or dirty or something. I don't know. But I don't know if this is like
dark. It is dark where he's taking the picture.
Yeah, but he's got like a flash on the thing as well. So
yeah.
But then he gets the radio as well, and that's like, oh, is this like a Silent Hill mechanic where it's like you move around and the radio kind of gets louder when you're like at the area you need to take the picture of to trigger the next event or whatever. But because of how weird it all is, it makes me wonder, is this like, because I've never played the flat one. I don't really know anything about Madison. So it's like kind of making me wonder, is all this shit going on inside this person's head, or is it like real, or you know? Yeah.
We got another impatient scenario.
Yeah. One thing was kind of like the main character kind of talking a bit. So was kind of like, don't know if I want to be hearing this guy talking too much, you know.
Can't be worse than the Arizona Sunshine guy.
That guy, he was just loud. Chopped was just loud.
What do you have against Chop?
No, it was just loud.
Yeah.
That's why he's not sticking around anymore. He got his money off of his voice acting in Arizona, and he's peacing out.
That's how he's funding the super chats. That's how he funds the super chats when they come in.
He's got the money now.
That's Arizona Sunshine 2 money.
Maybe you have the option to turn the voice off though in the game. Sometimes they let you do that, like turn the audio down on voice.
In the sequel?
No, in this game, in Madison, like you said.
Oh yeah, maybe. Hopefully.
You didn't like the sound of the voice. Sometimes you can just turn the voice all the way down.
That's not really. It's not like the volume that was bothering me. It was just more like the.
Just hearing him.
He picks up like a tin can. It's like, oh, this is so rusted. I'm gonna have a hard time opening this. It's like, no, you just say more normal things, you know.
But if you just turn the voice audio all the way down to zero, then you don't hear him at all.
But then he'd probably say like a key clue that you need to listen to solve some kind of puzzle or whatever, and you didn't hear. So I don't know. Anyway, it's a minor complaint, and it might not even be a complaint. It's just a suspected complaint. I don't really have anything else to say about it, though, lads. I do recommend watching this if you kind of want to have an idea of what Madison VR will be like.
No.
If you've no interest in Madison, you know,
I have interest. I have interest.
Well,
That's what I want.
If you have interest, don't watch us. All right. But if you've no interest,
it doesn't show it.
Don't tell them what to do. You're not their dad.
I am.
I don't see any spoilers in this little clip. They gave like the most basic kind of like.
It's just
going down the dark. Yeah, and it's very dark, and you can't hardly see anything anyway. So it's just more of like a.
Sign up.
This is one like creepy area that
you'll never play this anyway. You still haven't played Resident
Evil 7. Play it.
You'll never play it. You're like, oh, wait for
I'll
Halloween.
Play when I have
2030.
Time. I'm
Halloween
working
2030.
on Dreams. You bitch. After I'm done with Dreams, I'll start streaming. Nah, fuck, I won't stream. But I'll start playing the.
Okay,
I'll stream it.
All right, good.
He'll play it when it gets to co-op mode to us, so he doesn't feel.
But you already told me it's not scary. You told me the
Which
scariest part is the Resident Evil 7. You told me the scariest part is until I'm pretty much dead already.
Yeah, the first hour.
Resident Evil 8 is not as scary, and you told me Resident Evil 4 is not scary. So what the fuck?
Yeah, well, do it then. You know.
I will now that you told me.
Although Resident Evil 8 does have one scary part.
Out of 20-hour game.
Yeah, well, more like 12. Resident Evil 4 I didn't find scary at all.
Well, that's why I want to buy this game, because if it looks like it's more scary than the other one.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but this is scientifically the most scariest game of all time, according to the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah,
scientifically.
I don't know how they figured that out.
20% chance you're gonna have a heart attack and die.
I think they put like heart rate sensors on the people they tested it on.
Yeah.
And this one got their heart pulsing. Anyway, I don't really have anything else to say. This game's coming out the 20th of February, I think.
Getting there.
Correctly.
Yep.
Anyway.
Damn, just like I predicted it, remember?
You didn't. You didn't.
What do you mean?
You
Of course I
didn't.
did. Go
No,
back in
you
the
didn't.
streams.
You say
I
everything
said
is coming
February.
February. You say everything is coming
And is it
February.
not? And is it not?
We don't. When Phasmophobia comes out in February, I'll
Shut
believe
the
you.
fuck
I'll believe
up.
you then.
No,
that's the only time I'm
no.
going to believe you. Next topic then is
Phasmo's coming out October 30th. Just like I said
Phasmo's
before.
never coming because fucking Sony are bitches.
Phasmophobia
That's so
developers are
janky.
bitches. All right.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Don't be telling me it's coming out on one day and then backtracking and then telling me it's coming on another day and then backtracking again.
You
don't do it.
know Sony plays
Don't
dirty. They
do
little,
it.
little
They should
snakes.
know. They should know that. Not my job to know.
Shut up.
Not
Next
my
topic.
job to know. Next topic is the sale charts for December for PSVR 2 in case you're interested in seeing, what games made waves, what went up, what went down. I don't know if you've looked at this yet, lads.
Clearly, Firewall's at the top of the list for both.
Oh, yeah. Sadly not. Sadly not.
It isn't.
NFL. NFL. I didn't know that shit was selling.
2 new entries dominated, which was the Five Nights at Freddy game, Help Wanted 2, and Among Us VR. Everything else is kind of what you would expect. I was kind of surprised that Arizona Sunshine was in 4th. I thought maybe that would be up closer to the top. Didn't that come out in December? Like that was a December release?
Maybe.
Last month? It wasn't a November game. It had to be last month.
No.
Like it was early
So
enough,
these
like
are
the
the
8th or the 9th or something too. So it had
So
time.
these are the charts for what month?
December. Last month.
For December.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because I was like, fucking Beat Saber always on Job Simulator. But it's probably all the new people that got the Questicles and the VR headsets. They're playing the basic games that everybody buys when they get a headset.
Yeah, but Beat Saber's always up there anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Arizona Sunshine would be higher. Some a little bit. I wonder if they're disappointed to see that. Maybe sales are weaker than they thought. Pavlov, of course, is always up there. Like hovering around the middle anyway. And anything else interesting? Snaps kind of came up out of nowhere for 10th place in the North American store anyway, which is kind of a bit of a surprise. Because I thought that game kind of peaked back in like July or whatever and then didn't really pop up ever again. A couple of things to note though is that Among Us was dirt cheap. That game was like $10 dues. And also, if you're wondering like where the hell is Resident Evil 4, they don't count like free updates to games. Like hybrid games and stuff like that. So it has to be basically a VR only game to be in this chart, which is, I don't think that's right. I don't think it's fair. Resident Evil should be on that list, and Gran Turismo 7 would probably be on that list as well. Those big, like Resident Evil 8 would be in that. Like if Beat Saber is there every month, then those games will be there every month too. I think. That shit's popular. And then we're down.
Did you play Five Nights at Freddy's already? No,
No.
probably not.
I just have no
First
interest in that franchise.
Yeah.
I never got into Five Nights at Freddy. Maybe it's like more your generation thing, Jack, but I think I missed that.
Fuck your generation. You're probably the same age, Paige. And no, I don't. Isn't it just like jump scares?
Well,
No,
the
it's
original
just
games
jump
was like, aren't you just like looking at security cameras and then there's jump scares? But these like Help Wanted games is like you're actually moving around an area and like exploring, and it's different.
Yeah. And there's like puzzles that you need to solve, and if
Yeah.
you don't do the puzzle in time, then the mechanical bear like will scare you or something. Yeah. It's all that kind of
It's like mini games and shit to be doing. Among Us, like in that sense, maybe. But keep in mind as well that Five Nights at Freddy had a movie released as well, so that probably helped, like, increase the popularity and making people want to pick that up as well. Durban Brown was asking, did you all pick up Vertigo 2 already? We didn't. I was going to get it day one, like I felt like that was a day one game, but Without Parole kind of made me want to wait for a patch. So that's what I'm doing with that game. Jeremiah says, I think Arizona was like $60 dues when I bought it. They're probably going to be okay. Well, that was like a special edition though, wasn't it? Like, isn't that... I know it was more expensive than a normal virtual reality game, but I think like the standard was like $50.
Yeah, there was
A
a
lot of
deluxe
money.
edition that has like different skins for your dog and stuff.
Yeah.
It look like a zombie dog.
Sombrero hats for your dog. But that's like, I don't know, is there anything else you want to add to that? Is there anything missing there, or is there any addition there that you're like surprised by, or?
Propagation Paradise Hotel's not on there, so I really dropped off after like the
I suppose
after the spooky season.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems very, and these are all the games, right? Not just PSVR 2, or this is PSVR 2.
This is just PSVR 2. PSVR 2 one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It makes it. It makes sense. I'm not surprised of the list. Like these games are, I mean, I don't like NFL Pro Era, but I've heard it's not a bad game. So it makes sense, especially with all the new people that bought in December. I mean, I don't know. I don't think any other game should be here except obviously, Resident Evil, which can't count.
Yeah.
Is Breachers on this list? No.
No, so Breachers is so like you brought up Propagation and Breachers, like they don't.
Yeah.
Those games don't have any marketing budget really, like so they kind of had their chance in the new section. That's kind of the only marketing they get. Like they don't get that splash screen when you boot up your PlayStation Store and you just see a big ad. For like Resident Evil had like a big splash screen for the VR mode when that came out first, which was cool, and I like to see that. But like there's no marketing really. It's like really hard for these independent developers to get any notice. So I feel bad for them, especially like Propagation, because that game is really good. They deserve to be in the charts like for multiple months.
I think they had some clips being played on the PlayStation YouTube channel. I think I remember seeing some of it there, and they do show off some smaller games that are on VR, like but they don't like overly promote it, but they do like kind of throw up like
on the channel
trailer.
Like,
on the YouTube channel.
I'm pretty sure anything gets anything on the store gets some kind of a trailer on the channel, but it can be hard for them to break free from the crowd. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say other than we can go into our last topic now. 51 minutes in, we're already at the end. Although this could be a long one though. This could be a long one.
What's happened? What did you do?
We want to talk about Breachers because
I told you about the train game. I told you about
nothing I want to talk about the train game. A train game came out called Toy Trains. I didn't look up anything about it. So I have no interest in it. The only thing I want to say about that game is that it's made by the people, like not necessarily the studio, but the talent behind Superhot. So instead of you putting that amazing talent to good use and making something similar to that game, or like Muzz was saying earlier on, just porting it to PSVR 2, they've gone and made like a game where you're messing with toy trains. And I don't care how good it could be, the best train game ever made.
It has a touching story, okay? Whatever. It has a touching story about your father that used to play with trains or something.
Just because you're not interested about it. And we all know that you're a selfish little bitch.
Yeah.
But listen, you have a channel, you have people watching.
Yeah.
Like maybe somebody maybe Dan, he's an old man. He probably
can't speak to him.
He didn't have technology back then.
I haven't played it. I don't know what makes a good train game,
so I don't have any of the games we've talked about.
Yeah, but I know a shooter. I can talk about a shooter because I know what a shooter is.
We all know you're wrong.
I never played a toy train game before.
Next topic. Shut up.
I'm trying to do the next topic.
It's a de-stress game. You can just sit back and put your little train sets together.
Just get a real toy train like that. All right, Dan is saying Breachers equals shit.
Why? Why is Dan? I get that Dan doesn't like it, but why is he like completely?
Because he's a broken man. He was tormented. He couldn't say anything positive about Firewall Ultra without 20 people jumping him, gangbanging him, saying no, it's shit. This, that,
Bukaki him.
But yeah, he got bukakied with the
poor traumatized Deadeye.
So he's lashing out. Listen, understandable. I have sympathies for Dan. I don't think it's shit, by the way. I don't have sympathies for that opinion. But we will get into it right now. We've been playing. Breach has been out for like nearly a month, and Jackpot was bitching at me last week because I never did. We never brought it up on the Touching Tips because we took like a 3-week break there for Christmas time.
We missed it.
So we missed it, kind of. Yeah. So now is our chance to go in depth, maybe like a review almost. See, we had it for a month.
Review? A live review?
Shit. Kind of, yeah. We're in the big leagues now. You're in the big leagues now, Jackpot.
Boundaries.
What do you think I pay you for? All right.
You didn't pay me shit. Hey, just FYI, if anybody donates,
we
don't get nothing.
Checks. They get checks.
Nothing.
All right.
The only thing
think of the exposure. Think of the exposure you're getting.
I don't give a fuck.
You love the exposure.
How many people you hear me on my channel
exposing yourself to people?
I don't care. I don't like to be exposed.
I can be a streamer now and people will watch
there you go.
me.
That's how it works, Muzz. That's how it works. All right. I feel like Jackpot is probably the most pro Breachers man here between the three of us.
What does that
like
mean?
You've been playing it longer than us. You've been playing on the Quest. You've kind of been like, oh, I can't wait for this to come to PSVR 2.
When you say pro, I was like, I am trash at
pro
this
as in like not pro as in professional. Pro as in like you're for it, like you're a fan of it, like, you know.
Of course, fuck yeah.
Pro.
All right, so
Breaches
why?
is
Tell
awesome.
Tell us why. Can you go into it now that we've played it on
What do you
PSVR
mean
2 as
why?
well?
Pros and
Well, why are we
cons.
talking
Give us
about it?
pros
So I'm
and
asking you to
cons.
talk about it.
Pros and cons. Pros and cons.
You're on a podcast. We're talking about games, and the game we're talking about is Breaches. So I want you to,
A game we've actually
it.
played. Hey, we're gonna talk about a game that we actually played.
There you go.
Listen, this is the best game. Fuck no. I told you before, this is what I kind of wanted us to have in the VR space, and I kind of wanted Firewall to do this. Destructible environments have all the fucking gadgets.
Oh, hold on.
Not only
That's a
that,
lie. That's a lie. There's no destructible environments.
Windows.
well, the fucking wall, the windows, the
Yeah, but
walls, whatever. You know what I mean?
blow up a door in Firewall. You wouldn't say that's destructible environment. That's just like one thing that can be.
Can we talk about fuck? Okay, whatever. Okay,
Just
sorry.
saying.
Okay, yes. No, sorry, I misspoke. You can destroy with gadgets. You can use a spray foam, and you can use shit to destroy walls and windows, and you can repel, and you can fucking come in like fucking SWAT teams all inside. You can really strategize. I feel like we never do because we're new to the game, but we can really. Because I get to your point, Pumpkins.
That's
you say,
not why you don't strategize, because we're joking around all the time.
We're
That's why we don't
trash. We're
strategize.
trash too. We're trash too. But I feel like if we strategize more, because I feel like this game we have more. It's a different type of fun, right? Because like Firewall, you said, oh, it doesn't give me the adrenaline when I kill those motherfuckers, and it's true. It reminds me of like when I used to play Rainbow Six Siege back in the day. It was fucking very intense, and when you get a kill, was satisfying. Or PUBG. So I don't think this game gets it as much as Firewall does, but I think it's really fun. I like the VR aspects that this game has. Like you can fucking buy attachments and just gift it to your friends, or pick them up again if I fucked up, I put it in the wrong spot.
Which is nice.
There's a
very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of those things that I really like. There's obviously some things that I don't like, and we can talk about those. I'm sure we talk about the fucking skins, the grind, all that stuff we want to talk about, which we have customizable characters individually. But I just really like the core gameplay, and just it's pretty much like Firewall, which we love Firewall, the same kind of tactical gameplay. And I like that you can also do multiple game modes, which I know it sucks. There's only one map on Team Deathmatch, which I really like Team Deathmatch. But I like where this game is at right now, and where the potential that it has, especially now with all the PSVR 2 users. It's just kind of what I've always, my type of game, what I kind of always like, which obviously it can get better, and I think it will get better, but it's just really, really a lot of fun. Also, you don't have to grind with a public lobby. You can do the private ones like we do. Avoid the squeakers. I like that you can get a fucking, you died, and then you can fucking take over one of your bots. And it's just, I can keep going over and over of all the things that I really like about this game. And obviously there's some things that I don't, but they're very, very just picky stuff. Overall, I really enjoy this game. Sorry,
Like what?
Dan.
What's some of the picky stuff?
Well, the fucking the apparently the grind to, and I don't mind because it's just for skins, and you pumpkins didn't see the skins. The skins are really fucking cool. It just seems like what happens after you get a certain level, they kind of force you to use real money to get the skins. That's kind of what kind of looks to me like. Another thing I would like is I don't care if they make us pay real money or use the money that we get in the game. I would like to get customizable characters, and I don't mean like fucking faces and mustaches. Of course I would like to get fucking sunglasses, but just at least like Firewall did back in the day, 0 Hour. I think that would be awesome. That way we can, and that might be hard because at least
a big part of Breachers though is having the yellow versus blue, so like it's supposed to be very color focused. So
but at least different
outfits. Maybe as long as you're still
yeah.
blue and yellow, like as long as the colors stay the same, and maybe you can just.
Would you like
Right.
to
Just-
have
Just
individual,
a little bit customizable.
like, would you like it if there was individual operators, like different characters, like there is in Firewall, like this Ruby?
Nah.
No, you wouldn't want that.
I mean, if we can customize them, the colors, the type of, jackets or whatever the fuck it is like that, I will like that. Kind of like we have in in the mini golf, right? Obviously we can select the colors too, but you can put different hats, different little fucking whatever outfits on your neck. So that's something that I would really like, because I like customizable shit. I like to feel different, on the games, and because I always like my characters to be fucking like all wacky shit and crazy looking. It's fun.
Okay. Muzz, What are your thoughts on Breachers after playing this for so long?
I'm enjoying it. It's a slower pace than Firewall is, which I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, really. Like it's different. Like Firewall has strategic elements to it, but because of like the pace that you can run and like the gliding around corners and stuff, it has like a different, like more actiony feel, I think, than Breachers. Like Breachers is very like you plan your move and you need to like be waiting for your shots, because also the time to kill is so much faster in Breachers than Firewall. Like Firewall, you can get shot and you can run away from the bullets before like you can get around a corner before they drop you. But Breachers is pretty much like if they see you first, they're probably gonna drop. Like you're done. I don't like how it doesn't really have much feedback, and when you get hit or when you shoot somebody, like I feel like there's not really much of like a hit impact like that you get. I guess because the time to kill is so quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be nice to hear like a bit of a hit marker when you hit somebody, because sometimes like sometimes you don't even know if you're like clipping them or not, like in the arm or a body or whatever, you're getting headshots. And it would be nice to hear like a little bit of feedback, because at least that way you can say like, okay, I heard like a couple of my bullets land, but they probably just got a headshot because I died before they did. But sometimes you're like not even sure if you're like we're landing shots before you die kind of thing. Yeah. So I would like a little bit more feedback on that, and also like maybe to hear like some kind of like, I don't know, like when you get shot and you die, when you get shot, you just kind of like you're just
black and white
out. Like it just goes like quickly, like transition to like you're just in ghost mode. Like it doesn't really like have like a
death screen or
no death animation or no sound or anything. It's just like, oh, you're dead. You're suddenly a ghost. And I mean, I'm going with negatives here. Obviously, there's like all the stuff that Jackpot was saying was all good stuff, but I'm just starting with the nitpicky stuff myself. But I don't really like after you die, like there's really nothing to do. Like honestly, like you can try to help when you're like hovering around the map in ghost form, but like you really can't do much other than maybe if you're lucky enough to hear like some footsteps or something. But most of the time everybody's talking anyway, so you can't hear footsteps and you're just kind of floating around waiting for the match to be over, so you don't really feel like you're helping. It's
do you think it would be better if you could see the enemies as a ghost, or would that be too cheap?
I think they could do some clever things where it's kind of like a mix. Like if they're walking slow, you would have to hear their faint footsteps, but if they started like running or sprinting, maybe they could do kind of like a ghosting effect where you see like a trail or something. Like just like a smaller amount, like not that you can just see them outright, but I mean maybe just like, or even footsteps, like you can see like maybe a trail, like a footstep trail, like if they're like sprinting, like maybe they're heavier on their feet, so you can like, or even better still, maybe like bring out a new device that lets you, like if you have the device or something, once you're dead, then that means you can like see the footsteps of enemies, like their trail.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know. Just something more.
There's like a Call of Duty perk where you can see recent footsteps of somebody who's ran past an area or something like that. So something similar to that.
And it doesn't have to even be like immediately where they are. Maybe like the footsteps would be from like maybe 5 seconds after like where they ran, but at least it would give you like some kind of like knowledge about like, okay, I saw you, they ran by this corner here, but it wouldn't mean that they're right there still, but at least you could like kind of try to help a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, that's a complaint only from people that are bad at the game and they're just waiting for the next round to start. So
personally,
people that are good,
I've never experienced that myself.
Yeah, I know. You're just like, what the hell is he going on about? Like, what is this ghost
mode?
What is this ghost? What is this ghost screen you're talking about?
Yeah. But yeah, I've been enjoying it as well. I think there's certainly a lot of cool mechanics that they've introduced that like you don't see in other VR games. I really like the pinging mechanics. So like if there's someone on your team that doesn't communicate well or doesn't have a microphone on, they can just look at something and ping us, and then like if it's a weapon or if it's a breakable wall or something, it gives a different icon. It's like context kind of sensitive, which I really like. I also really like the like at the start of every round when it comes to bomb defusal anyway. Like you're separated from each other for a certain amount of time, so that the defensive people, the defensive team gets time to set up their trap. They're not being rushed on straight away, which is something I kind of wanted with Firewall, and it's something that you see in like Overwatch and games like that. Maybe it's a little bit too long. I feel sometimes I'm waiting for it to go. Like I kind of wish it would hurry up, especially as an attacker. And you're like, you just want to get in.
You can't buy anything.
You shut your mouth. Well, yeah, actually, that's true.
Well, the attackers,
you're like
you're buying stuff when you're an attacker, and you're also trying to like find like where you want to breach and trying to make a plan.
True,
like,
but I just feel like especially the more we play it, the more we know, and it's like okay, we know we want to kind of go to this place, and maybe it's like just a little bit too long, but I still rather it be there than not be there. Like it's a cool idea.
I think Firewall really could have used some kind of feature like that, honestly.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
because it's all inside, and it's not like someone breaching into a building. That's like I don't know how you can do it outside of like
trapping attackers in a certain room that they spawn in or something. Maybe for like the doors don't unlock until like 20 seconds have passed or something like that. So I don't know.
It's a lot tougher for sure.
Also, I enjoyed the quick. You already mentioned, but I do like the quick time to kill. It kind of makes it feel a bit more unique, you know. And even though the characters do seem like you can't really sprint, like especially on stairs and stuff, it feels like you're really like a snail pace. You can't go fast at all. Especially if you're used to running around as Diaz, it's like you kind of feel a bit sluggish and slow. But
I like it though. I actually like it.
But when you when you combine it, with the quick time to kill, it's like okay, that increases the tension. And it's like there's a reason, like you have to be tactical, kind of like make your shots count.
I think they're forcing that. The game is kind of forcing you to do tactical. That's what they do. The cameras, you can't really help as much unless they start shooting. I think they want it to be more. You know,
yeah, but like I said, they could have some kind of they could have clever ways to like help without like being like overpowered or anything.
Right.
Like, yeah. But I also want to say like I think that this game can be just as intensive as Firewall, like especially like if you're the last guy alive and you're trying to like hunt down like one or two of the last guys on the map, because that time to kill is so fast. Like it is pretty intense. Yep.
A couple of things I don't like is I know they've patched this, the audio, they've improved this, but just this quality of the audio itself, when you compare it to like obviously Firewall had way bigger budget, so they were able to afford like the guns sound way better and footsteps sound more natural, whereas in Breachers they kind of sound a bit, I don't know, tinny or like lower quality or something.
Yeah. Also
the guns themselves in Breachers, like they're kind of, it's like they seem kind of limited enough. There's two kind of shotguns, there's 4 rifles and 3 SMGs, and that's kind of it. And like if you inspect them, it's not. It kind of feels like they feel a little bit cardboardy or something compared to, again, Firewall, where I'm looking at.
Well, everything you compare to Firewall, babe, is gonna look like trash. Pavlov.
All right, so
Pavlov looks really good.
The guns in Pavlov look really good.
Yeah,
and like you're inspecting
I think Pavlov looks better. Pavlov looks better than both Firewall and Breachers in terms of the guns. I like Pavlov better than both the other two.
All right, fair enough.
And they feel heavier, they feel like more real. I feel like you said, these guns, and even like when you hit somebody, it doesn't feel like obviously like Mus says, it doesn't really feel like you hit somebody. Firework it does, and Pavlov it does. So
Pavlov is the best. You have the blood, the head splatter,
the gore,
blood,
a hole ripped in their chest,
magnum, and then just half of his body just split open. It's like oh shit.
Inside his ribcage. Just going to catch up on some comments here. Sorry for ignoring you for so long, but I just wanted to get our initial thoughts on Breachers out there. Will we get a group review of the train game next month? Maybe we can try and get some 3 codes for that one. Danny says you've all played more than 3 hours, so you can do a review and a live review on TT. Well, I did kind of do like the 20-minute thing, my early impressions of it, and then this can kind of count as a review then if you want. But one thing I regretted in the 20-minute thing I didn't go into enough is like how much like the actual breaching itself, which is like the whole the game is named after that. Like the repellent mechanic, how cool that is, and just like the spray foam stuff, and actually tactical breaching and shit, which is cool.
Yeah, we should play Breachers Beach. I want to play Breachers after this.
Fozzie Bear says Muzz and Jackpot get paid and all the free codes they get. There you go.
Yeah.
I got the finals for Jackpot.
Sure.
You're welcome, Jackpot. That's not a free-to-play game, That's not a free
No, you got the finals on PC for me.
That was expensive.
Thank you.
Donnie says we're witnessing history, but I don't know why. Tasuki says Jackpot's strategy is to shoot PP. Yeah, there is team killing in this, and Jackpot is really good at it. Really good.
That's another thing I like. I wish there was proximity chat. I wish there was proximity chat. That'd be cool.
Cover my back, Jackpot. He stares.
I
just shot you
staring
twice
at
in the ear.
staring at Pumpkin's back.
Not a big deal.
Staring directly at his back.
Bitch, absolute bitch. LSB is waiting for the competitive mode to drop for Breachers, which should add as well to us. I'm looking forward to that. Dead Eye Dan says you can buy hacks and cheats for Breachers. It's true.
It's crossplay, yeah.
They can do that for a lot of games, though.
That's the danger. That's the danger of PC games, Like even Pavlov, I guess, could have that too. Have we ever come across a Pavlov cheeser? I suppose most
probably.
We always play. We always have thankfully enough people to play, kind of almost by ourselves. So
yeah,
I think we have the
sheltered.
Literally low chances of we're sheltered.
Yeah, we don't know what the real world is like at all. Donnie says Jackpot has to show in game how many marijuanas he's had through his avatar. Bet you would.
Oh, the Breachers. I have a weed car in Gran Turismo. I just don't know how to put it online, so I can use it next time.
Donnie says his hit detection via audio and haptics. Yeah, that would be nice, just to add a bit of oomph. LSB says I have a small gripe about Breachers, but then Tasuki swoops in with, I mean, if you want to help someone, you can always use a heal on them. That's true. That's a cool thing you can do.
And being able to throw equipment. That one round a few games ago when we played it, and I forget who it was on my team, but I was up on the balcony and they were down on the ground and they were hurt, so I just took my thing and I dropped it down to them.
Cool.
So they could like grab it and heal.
Very cool. That reminds me, I've never tried this, but can you share ammo in the game? Can you throw a magazine at someone and then they can use it for their gun if it's the same gun?
I don't think so, because once you grab your clip, I think it's basically just on your hand until you like race it to your gun. I don't think you can like drop it.
We need to test that out just in case.
Yeah, we have to try.
LSB. So LSB's gripe is when you pull the trigger on your gun, the finger and the trigger do not move, so they're not animated. So the guns are kind of. I'd assume like there's no like when you shoot a gun in Pavlov or Firewall, the slide will pop back. You'll see that animated, and you'll see the shell popping out the side. I don't think it's animated at all in Breachers, is it? I could be wrong. I need to look at them more carefully. But...
honestly, like the fact that we don't know means that we're too focused on playing the game to like look down on our guns when we're shooting.
When that's one thing. I mean, most of the times I do have a lot of fun in Firewall, but overall, I seem to have more fuck this game or something like that pisses me off in Firewall more than in Breachers. In Breachers, like a lot of the times, like when we get killed, for the most part, I never compare like, this motherfucker or this is bullshit or, a lot of the times, yes, we get killed because we fucking suck. But, there's a couple times of something is just not because of the game, because of the fucking Diaz, 1,000 miles per hour sliding down and shoot it with one hand. Whatever it is, I get more pissed with Firewall than Breachers. So I think that's why we don't pick up a lot of the little details out.
It might help that the fact that when we do play Breachers, it's like 10 of us from the community, whereas when we play with Firewall, we're playing against strangers, and maybe we're like, oh, this fucker over here is doing this and pissing me off. So like, whereas if it's Jackpot shooting me, it's like, oh, what a bitch, but like I'm not seedy,
which is another.
No, I get pissed about the game stuff, not about the people that we play against, just the game stuff. Yeah.
That is a pro for Breachers. The fact that you can play in a private lobby and still get XP.
Yeah,
you're not playing and not gaining anything, which is cool. Like the fact that they let you play with people that and still earn experience.
But the XP is just for skins. So like some people would
Well,
like this,
still.
some people like this, some people don't though. So that's a 50-50 for me, where it's like
It depends on how much you play.
I feel like I'm not
I
really
guess.
working toward anything. I know you can get the skins, but even then I'm not too interested in the skins because I don't really see my own character too much, you know.
Yeah. But to be fair, how many? We talked about this yesterday. The last time we played Firewall, we were getting our asses kicked for a while, and it felt slightly unfair because they had all the equipment unlocked and we didn't. And
Yeah.
for the most part, till this day, even though I played, I don't know how many hours, not as many as a lot of you guys, but I played quite a bit to just have one or two guns. So I don't use equipment barely. I just unlocked the fucking sensor. So that's one thing that I like. Yeah, okay, in Firewall you work towards things, but fuck, do I gotta play my whole life?
Yeah, but the
in order to
grind,
get
the
this
grind
stuff?
was brutal. But I
not-
feel like the latest update where you can like if you do an
Oh, the
assignment,
latest update, I'm getting everything for free now. Yeah. But I do agree with you that the grind is more towards the cosmetics, but I don't have that big of an issue with that just being cosmetics.
Well-
But I would have liked to be, work a little bit towards something else.
There has to be a balance. I just think there has to be a balance. Like you can't be like Pavlov, because as great as Pavlov is, you're not playing for anything other than just having fun.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, there's no gun skins, there's nothing. So like if Pavlov, I don't know when they plan on ever having like another update. People are saying that they might have new maps at some point, but like I don't know.
I'm sure that was December, and then it never happened.
Yeah, so like who knows what's going on with Pavlov? Maybe they're just happy with the sales that they're getting and they're not like too concerned about it because people are playing it still. But yeah, that's the only thing that like if Pavlov had some kind of cool progression that like something I could work towards, I'd be on that probably like a lot more. But like right now, I think Breachers is like even though Breachers doesn't really have too much either, like it's all like the same kind of like Pavlov style, like unlock your stuff and with your money that you're making, which can be good and bad. Like sometimes that can be like a frustrating way to play. In Pavlov, I mostly play like whenever I jump on Pavlov, especially when I'm not playing with you guys, I always just go into like team deathmatch. And when you play team deathmatch, you never have to worry about like your cash. You can just buy whatever guns you want every time you come back to life. So that way I can just play and I use the guns that I like all the time. So it's not a problem. But in Breachers, it is, because like even when you play like in a public match or in a private match, if you lose a couple rounds, then you're just screwed, because like you have to go down to like the bare minimum, and it's really hard to get out of that hole. And then sometimes you lose like 2 or 3 rounds in a row just because like, all right, all I have is like this crappy little submachine gun,
and
everyone else has the
reticle, the red dot size, or like something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have to go bare bones, and then hopefully your team gets the win, so you get some money for the next round. So that can be a little frustrating. Like as much as it is cool to just have the wheel to pick and choose what you like, I do prefer to have like gear that I earned on my own, and I could go into the match with and know like this is the gun I chose, this is my sidearm, this is my gear, and I have that to go into the game with. So that's just I always like that style better than just pick your weapons from the get-go. Unless it's like Pavla, because I feel like I always have my loadout that I like, because I always just play team deathmatch and I just choose the guns every time.
In my opinion, like Pavlov's progression, which is non-existent, and Breachers are practically the same. I know Breachers does have progression. I know it does have the skins, but because I don't care too much about the skins. I know Jackpot says they're like really cool skins, and I'm sure they are. I don't deny it, but it's like I don't care about it, you know. So not like I'd like to try them out or whatever, but it's not like something I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get this skin or whatever. So because of that, it just feels like there is no progression to me. You know, even though the bar comes up at the end of every round, and it just seems kind of meaningless to me. Like it's just a thing that pops up at the end. It doesn't really mean anything.
I'd be a lot more excited if Pavlov got really cool gun skins and trinkets and stuff in that game than I'm less interested in Breachers. I guess maybe it's just the style of guns, like how they're like more futuristic looking, and it's not really like my style. I like the realistic looking guns. So like if I could have like my M4 and Pavlov and have like a cool skin and have trinkets on it that I can look at, then I'd be like really, really driven to try to unlock some cool stuff. But
Right.
I don't
But
know
in
what they're waiting
Breakers-
on, because it seems like if the guys that make Pavlov, like, it seems like they could make some money by like having some cool stuff. So
they took the
some
money
kind of-
and ran.
Well,
well,
like they're still selling every month. There's charting every
they are
month.
selling,
so-
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
They're still on the charts. So I mean, they're
But
not.
what can they do? What can they do in Breachers that you can work towards? Because the type of gameplay that it is, or the game mechanics, is you buy everything depending on how much money you make each round.
It'd be cosmetics. It would be the same as Breachers. If you have like a progression
No,
system.
I'm asking because Pumpkin says that he doesn't feel, and I feel the
Yeah, I
same way to a
don't-
point. What do you think they can do?
I don't think
work
they-
towards what?
I don't think they can do
can't.
it now because the way it's set up, it's like set up like Pavlov, where it's like you have the shop and then you earn enough money and then whatever's there. But the only thing they could do is like they'd have to go back to like the foundation of that system. It's like you can't have.
They can give us.
Well, like
can't-
if you unlock
Skins.
a skin for, like, say, the M4, or like a sniper gun that you like in Pavlov, if you earn enough experience to unlock the skin, then you choose what gun you want to put it on. So like if I'm always using the M4, I'll put the skin on the M4 and then I used it up. And then every time I play the game and I open up the reticle wheel, the M4 that I'm choosing will always have that skin on it. Like every time I pick it, right?
But that's still cosmetic. You know, I'm like
Right,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. But
Jackpot's asking like what progression
Breachers.
would I want to see in Breachers to
Oh.
make it more appealing to me or whatever.
I don't think you can.
I think unless they
do
put level locks on
character.
some of the gear. You know, like you can't have the door blocker unless you're level 12, or you can't have something like that until
Right.
you're level something else. You know,
For character skins or outfits for characters, I think that would
that's
be
cosmetic
it'll
too.
feel more
Like,
right, but it will feel more meaningful to have a different, even though it's the same color, different looking character that is more unique than just the gun itself. You know,
yeah, like
It'll feel a little bit better.
any other unlocking in the game wouldn't work just because of how the game is designed to not be a progression based unlock system. So like you can't have the board come up where you select all your weapons
you
and
don't
not have stuff.
I know.
and
That's
you
why
don't have
that's why I'm
available-
saying like it's
Oh.
not. They can't do it the way it is.
Yeah,
You know. So
Yeah,
I think
it
it's
is-
just it's
it
just a
is what
choice.
it
But
is.
some people love that. It's just me personally. I think I would rather work towards permanent unlocks that improve like my gadgets and abilities and what I can do. Obviously, Firewall was too grindy. If it wasn't as grindy, it would have been way better. I'm just catching
Yeah,
up on
0
some-
hour for me was perfect. I think.
That shit was grindy
Just,
too. I think you're forgetting how grindy that was. Like a lot of people were like, it took a long time
Just,
to get
uh,
C4 in that game too. Sorry,
just to mention,
Yeah, but it wasn't
just to
as
mention to the D-Day that we were talking about earlier. That is another improvement that they're doing. They're making progression with the weapons and progression with unlocking items like for the weapons. So like when you're playing it now, it used to be like just pick whatever gun you want, but now you'll have to play with the gun, and then the longer you play with it, you'll get better sights and scopes and
Yeah, I like
grips and
that.
stuff.
I
So,
like that.
yeah,
Even
so there's
character
better.
skins.
There's going to be progression in D-Day, which is nice.
Yeah.
So Donnie says, I'd like some sort of interaction between my squad that matters. Yes. But he's probably
What do you mean?
talking about something that we were talking. This is an older comment, so God knows what we were talking about when he said
An
it.
hour ago.
Yeah.
Deli Dan says, just say it, Muzz. The game is shit. Firewall Ultra forever. Tasuki
I'll always love Firewall. Don't have to worry about it.
Tasuki says, lol, I think we just don't tend to talk a lot to each other. Too busy telling Jackpot he sucks, etc. in the matches when we are alive. Yeah, and Breachers, it can be hard to know if I'm hitting someone or being hit at times. Wish they would do better with that. But that seems like an easy enough thing to... I don't want to say easy, obviously, because nothing is easy, but it seems like something that
Maybe
can be patched in.
did they fix it with the new update with the updated audio? Because
I
I haven't
don't-
even played it since that updated audio thing, so I don't know if they
I think,
fixed any
like,
kind of.
The biggest thing I noticed with that audio update is that like I can hear footsteps way better now, like enemies. Like so I know when they're around a corner or something nearby.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice anything in terms of hit markers and stuff, but
But the guns sound better though. But
um,
the gun audio is supposed to sound a lot better.
I think so, but it's not amazing.
Right.
Solid says yes, Jackpot is good at team killing, laughing. Durban Brown says don't forget about those side view mirrors on the cars. Oh yeah, that car I went up to just painted on. It's like they don't have a wing mirror, they just painted on a wing mirror on the side of the car. That was funny. Deli Dan says you need to play Firewall daily to get good. 445 hours. The goal for me in
No,
Pavlov
thanks.
is to be in the top 3. Mojo was there. How you doing, Mojo? Nice to see you. Fozzie says they could always add a new game mode. Are you talking about Pavlov or Breaches now? And Tsuki says, not like Firewall did it perfect, having so much stuff behind levels, etc. made it so they constantly had to nerf the better weapons you got later until most of the guns were very similar anyway. You had that super powerful grenade launcher thing. You had to work like 300 hours to get them. Once you finally got there, they nerfed it and it sucked. The noob tube. I don't think it was that. I think it was like level 30 or something, was it? Like it wasn't too.
It wasn't.
crazy.
Yeah.
Noob
It was.
tube?
It was.
I don't remember. It was.
It wasn't. It wasn't
high.
max. It wasn't max level, but
No.
yeah. That was quite the controversy that back in the day.
That shit got nerfed.
The nerfing of the run and gun.
Yeah.
Grenade launcher, guys.
Six says it was level 45, but I don't know.
It was.
I think it was.
I'm gonna need to see
like the drum magazine.
Proof of that in court. I feel like C4 was high, like level 40 something, 42 or something. Anyway, anything else we want to say about Preachers?
Buy it, play it.
I just really like the interaction with the gear, like it feels like you're like more like involved in the world because of like the gear that you're holding and like being able to place it around like you want to, and it's really nice to be able to pick it up again and feel like, oops, I didn't mean to put it there. I'll put it over here instead.
Or you can steal people's shit after they die, or the way you plant the bomb, even though it's kind of silly Spider-Man mini game. I still think it's cool.
You can't steal teammates' clips out of their guns like Pavlov, so not quite as good. But I mean, it's,
that's Pavlov is.
What do you think about the maps in the game?
The maps are not great. Like there's something about them that I guess maybe it's just the quality like of the graphics, but it just looks it's just kind of like bland. Like it's not like good, it's not bad. It's just kind of like it's functional in terms of like the gameplay, but because the game is intense in terms of like the time to kill in the game, you're so focused on just looking for the enemies. Like the environment's almost like not part of like the focal point, even though you're walking around in it, but you're so focused on like where are they coming from, so it's not a big thing. But if you kind of like linger around and look around at the graphics a little too much, it's not that impressive.
But in terms of like layouts and like verticality and choke points and all that kind of shit, do you think it's like good?
Level design, like the level design is great. Yes, I like the multi-floor. I like being able to go up and come down from like the rooftop into like the vents, and that's kind of cool. I think they could have went a little better. Like if they would have went a little further with the vents and made it so you could actually like travel a little bit more in the ceilings and like look out different vantage points like through the vents, that would be kind of cool too. But it's really multiple, like there's multiple things, like ways to go about each level. It's not like I find like Firewall, as much as they wanted it to be like Breachers, they just the way that the game runs, it's more like as much as you want to play tactical and want to play like wait for them to come and trap them and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't work. Just because I think everyone's moving around too fast and there's just too many options for the attackers to like get by that kind of stuff. Where Breachers, like I don't know, like if you have a really, really strong team attacking and a really, really strong team defending, I don't know who has the better advantage. Like I think it's so like depending on the situation, like situational. It's not like a clear like this team has the advantage, this team doesn't. Where I feel in Firewall, there usually is an advantage one way or another, depending on who you're playing. I don't know. It's just
depending on the room you spawn in as well with the laptop or whatever. So like, like a really
that's
nice,
true. Yeah,
easy defendable one or a difficult one to defend.
Yeah, I feel like Breachers, you can put a perimeter in, and then Firewall, unless you get lucky one of those rooms, you're kind of like a little bit in the open,
Which is perfect because like in a tactical game like that, giving the whatever it is it like a 40-second countdown? I can't remember exactly what the time is, but I don't know what it's not super long, but it's just long enough that people can like figure out where they want to defend and stuff, which is again, like it's just something that firewall really needs, because it would stop the run and gun people a little bit, because you would know, like, plan out what you want to do, especially when you get those spawn points in firewall where it's just like you spawn in the passport office and they spawn like out in the lobby where the metal detectors are, and as soon as you walk up to the door to like plant something, they're like opening the door and shooting you. It's just like,
And
damn,
I feel like
that's like that's not tactical. That's just chaos.
Well, and it's more noticeable, like you say, Muzz, in that game. Like fucking firewall, people do that because they're not afraid, because they don't. You get a lot of shots and you still don't die. In breachers, I feel like people might be more scared of just running like that,
well,
straight
yes,
forward. Yeah,
like
if you're right away.
If you're a camper in breachers, or you're a camper in firewall, it's like much more dangerous to be a camper in breachers. Because if you have a good position sitting in a corner that's like a little dark or something, and you're just waiting there for them to come around the corner, you're gonna get them. Like it's.
I feel like I want to be the Dan in the room here and point out that there is no dark corners in breachers, because there's no lighting effects in breachers. Like everything's kind of just lit the same way, kind of flat looking. So it's not really stealth in breachers, which is, I mean, you could technically do stealth in.
You can be hiding.
firewall.
You can be hiding behind stuff, and you can be hiding around corners, and
Stealth doesn't need to be fucking no lights, but yeah, I see what you mean. Definitely, there's not a lot of
less
places
options,
to hide
I suppose I should say.
Yeah.
Now,
there's not a lot.
what like just a what if in the future, like these guys that made breachers, what's the guys that made breachers
Triangle
again?
Factory, I think.
Yeah, okay. So if they make lots of money on breachers and they can actually like bump up the budget and like kind of like do a graphical overhaul or something down the road, if it sells well enough, what would breachers do to firewall if suddenly they have like lighting effects? Like if they can like do that with their game eventually,
if
like
they can like match the firewall like production value, then
not I wouldn't say match it exactly, but if they can do the lighting, say if they can go as far as like make like shadows casting and stuff like that with like flashlights, like that would be pretty
You mean
cool.
like if it would
Of
kill
course it would be
firewall,
cool.
or what do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like I don't know if they ever had plans to try to like do a graphical upgrade on breachers or not. Maybe like this is kind of like a base kind of starting off for them, and they like plan on maybe someday we can like make it look better if we do like a cool patch or something.
I hope if they have a money and a budget, I hope that the visuals like that, like, hey, let's get more realistic grass. I hope that is the least important of their things. I hope that because I obviously I like the graphics, but I'm not saying whatever. Firewall, nobody can beat it in graphics. The fucking lighting, everything was amazing, and the gameplay was really good, but it had a lot of issues, and there was not enough money to fix everything, time, whatever it fucking was, right? So I don't think that even if they update the graphics, it's gonna, because for me, like we talked about them, they're different games, and that's what I've been telling you guys since the beginning. And we like to compare them because that's what we do, especially you pumpkins and everything. But I think that I told you it's same with the Quest and PlayStation. They both coexist. They're both VR headsets, but they're slightly different. Same with this. They're both shooters, similar, but they feel different. Some days I prefer to play Firewall. Some days I prefer to play Breachers because they're slightly different. So I don't think the graphics will do any damage to the Firewall, whatever it is. But obviously, I would like to get better graphics. But I hope they don't put all their focus on graphics and they put their focus on giving us the content that we and the gameplay changes that we will like, progression, however they fucking get it, and all this stuff. I would prefer that money goes that way, but it will be nice.
Gameplay is always king. Like when it comes to games, like as much as graphics are good, the game has to be like really fun to play first. That's the first thing to get right for sure. And I think Breachers, like right from when I first started playing it, like everything was fun to play, like right from the get-go. Like I didn't have like any noticeable like problems, like putting a device down, it wasn't like stuck to my hand or anything, or nothing took me out of the game, like right from when I first started playing it. So it's good there. Like I don't know how many bugs have you guys seen? I don't think I really have seen.
No, it's fairly polished. Yeah, I don't think there's.
Like, but at the beginning,
outside of the audio problem, but that was that was a known issue, and they apparently already did the adjustment for that. So I mean, Yeah. In
Yeah,
terms of
at the beginning
functionality
it
and
sucked,
playing
though.
it, I don't have much complaints at all. Like it's solid. So, and
Yeah.
if I had to choose one or the other, like the game looking really good or playing really good, I'll always go with playing really good over the graphics for sure.
I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
just to inflame the situation, that Firewall Ultra's grenades are better than Breacher's grenades,
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
as in using them. I like how no, it's quickly to equip them.
I
You equip
disagree.
them. You equip them
wait,
easier
wait.
in Breachers, but throwing
I
them is
disagree.
better. Well, I know you're going to disagree, but that's why I said
I'll
I'm
take.
inflaming
I,
us.
I know.
wait.
I'll
I thought you
take
said. I
the-
thought you were saying 0 hour at first, so I was gonna
No,
agree.
well,
with
0
you.
hour is the pinnacle. 0 hour is the pinnacle.
No,
Yes.
see,
Yes.
at
How
least-
dare you say that? No.
at least in
How
Breachers,
dare you say how dare I say it?
Just because we suck and we can't get good at this fucking, and some games are worse than others. I get that it's not super realistic, but I will take the more realistic throwing it, even though it's not super great, than having to press a button and just fucking this fake line comes in there. Again, I'm more for the immersion. I get it for convenience and it works better and it more easier to use and more kills like that. Yes, I agree. Because I'm not
No.
trying to be a dick, but I was good at getting firewall kills with grenades, but I don't like that.
I'll agree with Jackpot in terms of I think Breacher's grenades are better than Ultra's grenades. I like 0 hour grenades just because I was good at them as well, and I like doing my combo with shooting and my impact grenades, and I really miss being able to do that, like being able to shoot, throw an impact, and just keep shooting as I'm running towards an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun, and I lost that in Ultra, but Breachers has much more tactical approach to their grenades. Like you can't underhand lightly roll a grenade around a corner in Ultra. Like, and
how many times have you done that in Breachers though?
Quite a bit.
I did it once. Like the breaching areas where you see like there's a gap
In the door,
underneath the
Underneath
sometimes
the door,
sometimes
door.
if you see like someone run by, like you see a foot run by, as soon as the match starts you can take a good grenade and just kind of roll it under the, like in their direction under the wood,
Right.
and it might be able to get them just because you saw maybe one go by, and so you can try to sneak a grenade under like that.
I had people, I get in firefights when I'm outside doing the rappel, and there was the window, and the guy is literally hiding on the side of the window on the wall, and I just grab a grenade and I just kind of like just pluck it in the corner right there without like when they do the wall shooting in firewall, because it's VR, I do the same thing with a grenade, and with firewall I would have to bounce it off the wall or I just. I
That's
get what
in
you're
that
saying, but
situation, in that one specific situation where you want to just place it gently down, then it's better in Breachers. But in most of the times when I just want to toss a grenade out, I can't get it to
Right,
go
but in
more than
real
2
life-
feet in front of me. I can throw more than 2 feet in
Right,
front
but
of me in real life.
practice. That's practice. But yeah, I gotta agree with you. It's not the
The
grenade.
physics are off. Like compared to Pavlov, even though I still have issues with Pavlov's grenade throwing too, where it can like sometimes just shoot into the sky randomly because I flicked it a certain way. But like at least I can see what the physics is trying to do in that game. Like, whereas with Pavlov, it's like I'm trying to throw it through soup, invisible soup in the air that's like slowing it down or something.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I actually, like, I'll say, like, I suck at throwing grenades in all of these games except for 0 hour. That's the only game out of all these games we're discussing. That's the only one I was actually good at doing anything with grenades. I'm not good at like gauging how fast or like when to let go of grenades in any of the manual throwing grenades. Pavlov, I never touched the grenades. I'm just not good at them. And I do like the breachers being able to like lightly toss a grenade rather than have to like throw it like fast to like get it somewhere. Like I like being able to like do an underhand or like around a corner toss like that. But I really don't use them too much anyway. But I can see people that like using grenades a lot. I think breachers has a cool style. Like if you get good at it, like I'm sure if I use them a lot, I'll eventually get the hang of it and like the timing, how to throw and stuff. But
Right.
I would take that over the eye tracking any day. I'm just not ever going to be a fan of like looking where I want to throw and then just pressing a button. Not good.
The reason why I say I prefer that is because I will attempt to do that on a building across the street with the eye tracking, because it's like I've got a decent chance of it going where I want. Whereas if I try if I try to do it in breachers, it would be like, no, it's not going that distance.
Well, that's in
at
real
all.
life. How
Like
the
you
fuck
can-
are you gonna get into this little tiny hole window?
I'm not talking about tiny.
30
I'm
million
talking
feet
about a big balcony across the street.
Still, dude, in real life,
can
You can do that in real
confidently-
life.
hard.
You can do
Yes,
that in real life.
but
You
I can
can't
If I
throw
was a
confidently say though,
trained mercenary, I would do that in real life.
Throws,
I was a
throws.
trained mercenary like these people are. I'd do it no problem. Eyes closed.
I can say though, I think I can say with somewhat confidence, if I play breachers enough and use grenades like every round, I would be able to precisely throw the grenade where I want to.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you,
Well,
Mark.
that remains to be seen. Like, so I'm not going to rule it out. So maybe I will get better at practice.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I think myself, I think I could get good at throwing the grenades and breachers if I use them enough. I'm just not too much of a grenade user anyway, in like a lot of games. But I mean, if I was, I can see myself getting better than I am in Firewall Ultra using grenades, because I tried using them in Firewall Ultra and I just cannot, because it just does not function right.
Well, I've seen Jackpot. Even Jackpot can get a double kill with a grenade in Firewall Ultra.
Sure,
You know,
you can once in a while.
Breachers.
That was Firewall Ultra. You got a double grenade kill in Firewall Ultra.
Well, in Breachers too, I think. That was my only my first.
You got a double kill. You did get a double kill in Ultra, but
oh yeah, because I had prayed a Hess. I literally was praying a Hess as I was throwing the grenade, and that was the only time that I prayed to him, and it worked. So my religion has changed.
You go.
Keep praying. Keep praying. Let me try and catch up a little bit. I know Desi Gamer has popped in. How you doing, Desi Gamer? He wants to play some Firewall Ultra. Apparently, he can't get anyone to play with them.
Come in, join us in Discord and get on the get on the wheel.
See if anyone wants to get in. Tasuki says that's what Pavlov has in spades. It's fun to play, just needed more maps and something to work to unlock or guess which gun skins and avatar skins, etc. would have been enough for me. Speaking of the maps as well.
Oh, it needs new maps so bad. Pavlov needs.
I was just gonna say as well, like Breachers is like less maps than Pavlov, I think. I mean, there's 5 maps you can play the bomb game in, and then there's that one extra map that's dedicated to like team deathmatch. So how long before that kind of we kind of start, saying, hey, where's more maps for this?
Very, very soon, probably, but it's a
6 months.
6 months.
I don't think it will eventually start getting old, but I mean, I think just the style of gameplay in Breachers, I think it can go longer without needing the maps as much as like other games, maybe just because of the pace and like how you play the game, because it's so tactical. Pavlov isn't really tactical. It's more of a like you're aware of the environment more how you play Pavlov than you are in Breachers.
Warren says I've been getting a lot better at nade throwing. It takes practice, and Breachers doesn't have a good spot to practice. Sorry. Desi says I was playing Battlefield a lot, but then Firewall Ultra came out. So I simply didn't go back to Battlefield 2042. Gotta love the or amen. Jeremiah says Contractors Showdown has the best grenades in VR, hands down. I'm looking forward to that one coming to PSVR 2. However, they keep prioritizing all these other inferior headsets, so we gotta wait. Tasuki says, well, 0-hour grenades went where you wanted them to, the rest who knows. Yeah, I think we all agree 0-hour grenades are the superior way to do it, at least the most reliable. Yes.
Reliable, yes. That's no.
Reliable is how you want it. Tasuki says Ultra gets you killed or goes who knows where. Pavlov, you got issues thrown as hard as you want or far. Same with Breachers. Desi says, can I join the base at 2? I don't know what the details are, but like just anyone joining. But they've been doing like evening bases for D-Day all this week. So keep an eye on their like Twitter account. And Desi, it's been a pleasure. Oh wait, you're still here, never mind. I thought you were leaving. Desi says, I was on Discord when I was struggling to buy PS5 so I could grab one, but now I can't remember my login ID. Tasuki says, hopefully by the time we get tired of Breachers, we have Ghost of Tabor and or Phasmo and Contractors. Hopefully that'll make it into
Ghost of Tabor is not probably coming until like late in the year, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, I feel like
Big
I don't think that will be summer. Yeah, I feel like they haven't even gotten a date, right?
No.
But I feel it's gonna be right after summer for that game. I don't know.
I feel like they did say like Q3 of this year or last year originally before they pushed it to next year, and then they were like, no, we're not, it'll be ready when it's ready, Phasmophobia style.
Yeah,
don't ask us for shit. All right. So, is there anything else we want to say about Breachers? What would you give it a score? What would you score us out of 10? The way it is right now.
Between a 7.5 and an 8.
Ooh, that's lower than I expected from you, Muzz.
I'll go. I think an 8. I think 8. I'll go 8. I'll go up to 8.
I'd go 8.5 as well.
Yeah.
Damn. But I don't want to influence. I don't want to influence your decision, Muzz. If you feel like it's a
it's an
7.5, then
I'll
go for 7.5.
I'll go 8. I think it would bump up once they get more maps, and if they can do something with well, we already went over the progression, so I don't know what they can do there, but
graphics a little bit
it has
better.
some improvements.
All they need to do is drop that quest support, bring out a sequel, PSVR 2 native only. Let us see them visuals, like same gameplay, but all the bells and all the whistles that we expect.
Yeah, it'd be hard if they alienate.
I know, yeah, that's where all the money is. Like, I bet there's only like fucking 20 people playing this on PSVR 2.
More maps for team deathmatch as well. It needs like 3 or 4 different maps. For that.
Yeah. I don't know why can't we use the maps that are in the other modes for that?
I was gonna say that earlier. I totally forgot to mention.
I don't know.
Why don't they just have the buildings, like the same buildings and stuff? And yeah, they should just have those as the team deathmatch.
There must be some reason for it.
I don't know. I don't know why they don't.
LSB says, I think Muzz will like the guns and Ghost of Tabor very detailed.
Yes, I can't wait. That's supposed to be like the most realistic out of all of them so far.
When all of the stuff that we like on Breachers, like VR mechanics, right? Like you can get your shit and drop it and pick it up. I feel like Ghost of Tabor, if you're talking about that specific thing, it's just like next level, dude. Yeah. The amount of attachments you can put and all this shit, dude. It's
like literally opening a box of like shotgun shells and like being able to grab one at a time out of the box, or like dump them on a table, like dump the box out and then take the bullets. Like it's crazy. Cool. Yeah.
When you have to, obviously you can buy the things as well, right? If you have money, but you can make your own bullets, and you have to load your magazines before you go out. I don't know if you can do it as you're in the field.
No, you do it yourself.
But you have to do it yourself. You have a little machine.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a little machine in there that they show how to do the fucking with the gunpowder and do the fucking bullets, and then put them on the fucking on the clip or whatever you fucking call it. It's really good, dude. The graphics are not good. Not good. No,
it's
not
more
good.
About it's more about the immersion. Ghost of Tabor is more about more about immersion than the graphics.
Yeah. Don't expect graphics to be even okay. They're pretty shitty, but the game.
We'll eventually get to the point where we can have all the cool immersion and the graphics to go with it. Like
this is what,
no more compromise.
We'll be dead.
This is what Quest has done. Like Quest is good because it's kept VR alive, but it's bad because it's like this is what people have to make games for. Like so, the graphics have to be has to look a certain way. So it's good and it's frustrating at the same time.
And it's also small teams. It's all like small teams making these games, so they don't have the budget to make them like super detailed, like Firewall and Resident Evil and stuff. So I mean, if we have to rely on small teams making the games, then that's what we got to make. Like I mean, it is what it is. But as long as the immersion is there and it looks like it's great, and like the only thing that I don't like about it, now that we're on the Ghost of Tabor topic at the moment, I'm a little disappointed because I heard that you lose all your stuff, like they wipe your stuff every like so often.
I suppose that's to keep it like a fair, like an even playing field for people who join.
I 100% understand why they do it, but I like in those kind of games, like I'm such a collector. And like getting the gear and stuff that I like, and like customizing the guns and all that kind of stuff. But knowing like it's eventually all going to be taken away from me.
Yeah.
It's a little, like I get it, but at the same time, it's like, damn it. Like I want to have like a cool collection that
I guess like you do get to a point where you have the coolest gun, you have the coolest gear, and then you're like, where do you go from here?
What else is there? Then you just become like you become a troll, or you just you're so bored you just become a troll and you just start killing like the new players and stuff. And I understand.
Worm says,
but
Can't wait for the ammo making streams. We'll have a 1 hour preparation stream before we begin, where we're like fucking crafting water filters and filling up our canteens with water.
And then we get on the field, then we die in 10 seconds.
Yeah, all right, thanks for watching.
The only
Adios.
thing that's gonna suck that I don't think that we're gonna be able to do is I wish or I hope, but I don't think there's a way that we can all play because in the server, right, on the map, whatever, there's a certain amount of teams that can join, but you can only join with a squad, right? It's a squad of three. So I don't know. I wish there was a way that we can all find a lobby, right? That we can all get our squads of three and we can play each other, because otherwise this is gonna be worse than
private lobbies. I don't think.
Yeah,
no private lobbies.
The wheel's gonna be intense.
Kathleen
One
is gonna
free
be hated
spot on
even
the
more.
wheel. But yeah,
That's gonna suck.
Still,
But yeah,
I'm really looking forward.
Excited for that though.
My only worry about Ghost of War is that it's like could be too janky, you know.
My only concern about Ghost of Tabor is not so much the jank. It's just how the style of gameplay is. Like if you're gonna be streaming it, that like one shot and you're dead, like kind of attitude to it, like
stream sniping.
Well, no, I mean just like how much of the stream are you going to be like actually playing the game, like especially like getting started, like how many times are you going to like, all right, I got all my gear, get into the world and have like.
Well, I don't know what's it like when you die in that game. Like, do you go back to like your safe house and start again, or are you on the map immediately again, or how does that work?
No, you're in your safe. Like it's just like there's no like audio or anything. It's just like you could be walking out in the woods, suddenly it just like black screen, you're dead. Kind of like you're just like you're just like done. Like
in real life.
Yeah. It's basically like how it would be in real life. If you got shot in the back of the head, you don't like see anything. You're just like black. Gone. Like it's just done. Yeah, and then you disappear at your safe house, and you can choose to get your stuff and go
fresh spawn.
So yeah. So.
But then, how long like does it take to go from like your fresh spawn to being back out in the world again? Is that quick enough process?
I think so. It just depends on how much planning you want to make and how much gear you have to work with. But I mean, it just in terms of like the cycle of gameplay depends on.
That stuff can be really gripping as well. Like it's like a slow build, and then
but then
it can climax quickly and then it's over. But you know,
it's intense. Like it'll be fun to play for the intensity, and especially if you have two people that you know that you're playing with. I don't know how the respawn. Like, I don't know, like, if you have two friends out in the field and you die, do you respawn and then have to go find them again, or can you spawn close to them? I don't know how that.
And I think you can heal up as well. And is this the game that they talk about the bleeding out and shit? Or is this a different?
Yeah, you can break legs.
You can bleed out
like that, can't you?
You can bleed out. Like if you get in a firefight and they tag you a lot and you kill them, you look at your wrist thing and it will say like, "Oh, you're bleeding really bad." And if you don't find bandages in time, your screen starts going like red veins kind of like start showing on the corner, like you're bleeding, kind of like a.
No, I think this game is going to be a lot of fun to play, dude. I just wish there was private lobbies or something that we could find more people that we can play each other, because that's going to suck.
Yeah. Private lobbies would be cool in it.
Hopefully that's something they'll add. Like, do they add these kind of things to games like that? Extraction shooters, is that common enough?
I don't know.
Probably
if you're
not.
a bitch about it, they might.
Delidan says, that seems like a pain in the ass to have to load your magazines. And Tasuki says, yeah, loading magazines seems like a step into stuff that's immersive, but the kind of immersive you'd rather not have. Lol.
God, you guys are a bunch of bitches. You don't have to. You can just buy them. You can just buy them if you're lazy. I'm just saying, if you're broke and you collect stuff, because when you go out there in the field, there is fucking things to collect. And it's not just like, oh, I found a fucking AK-47 and it has a bunch of magazines on it. No, like, you might find a fucking magazine of AK-47 that you can't use, but you got to put it in your backpack. Or you found a bigger backpack that can carry a lot more different things. So you don't have to make them. I just like that you can.
Pumpkin's 2 hours best of loading magazines compilation.
How fast can you load the magazine?
And Donnie says Ghost of War is going to be fire.
I hope so. I'm excited for it.
LSB says
probably going to die a lot, though.
The aiming is nice and smooth in Ghost of War, says LSB.
Yeah, and the gameplay, like the firefights are kind of. It reminds me a little bit. Have you ever guys played Arma 3?
I've seen it, but I haven't played it. But it's like DayZ is based on Arma, isn't it? Like it was a mod. from
Nah,
Marvel.
but okay, PUBG, right? You know, PUBG feels slightly different than any other shooter,
Yeah.
right? The way that it shoots, it just I don't know how to explain it. I feel like more realistic. Uh, I don't know. I really like the game, the way that the guns shoot and the way that it feels when you kill somebody. It's not perfect, but the gameplay and it's satisfying. The mechanics of the VR mechanics of all the attachments, everything. I think that's why for me the graphics, of course, I would like them better, but I don't think people are gonna care as much because the gameplay is gonna be really fun.
Yeah. I feel like this game is like a game where like you can, like every time you play, you're making a different, like it's a different story. Like depending on who you
Yep.
come up
Yeah.
against, what teammates you
Scenario.
have, like anything could
Different
happen.
strategy and
My
yeah,
only problem is like you come like it's very comparable to DayZ in terms of like the type of game it is. But when you look at the maps, like the biggest map there is like this kind of island. There's not too many buildings on it. There's
no, it's
not
not
too
that
much
big.
going on. Like I wish it was like a big open world. That'd be fucking sick. But that's the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
The limitations that we have to work with right now.
Yeah.
Phasmophobia is still Tasuki's most wanted. Mine too. Although I'm less hyped about it now because I'm kind of just annoyed at the delays. But I'm still obviously, once they announce it's coming, I'm going to be like losing my shit. Tasuki says, seems like horror games always hit the best and we can count on, and anything else we keep getting disappointed by. Getting dead is easy in Ghost of Divorce, says Donnie, but losing is great because you do have a base of operation. Yeah, it'd be cool to build up that, although, as Muzz was saying, might be a bit heartbreaking when it gets wiped. Anyway, are we ready to move on to the old fax machine?
At the same time, though, being like losing all your stuff eventually will make it so you don't want to hoard it all. Because like I would be like, I'd be
Yes.
more scared to take out my favorite gun because I wouldn't want to lose it if I died.
Yeah.
But knowing
Yeah.
that I'll eventually lose it anyway, I probably would take it once in a while just because like who cares, I'll eventually get
That's
it
a good
whipped
point.
anyway.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to the fax machine, so 3, 2, 1.
It's that time again for questions and topics submitted by our viewers.
Which I did.
So let's go to our fax machine and see what we have. Fax me harder, Daddy. I've been a bad boy.
All right, fax machine done. So we got a few questions. First one is from Jedi Nice 78. He says, "Do you think PS5 has the power to run GTA 6 on PSVR 2? It'll probably won't happen, but I/we can dream."
No, it does not have the
No.
power.
Not GTA 6. No, I don't think so.
Yes, it does.
GTA.
That's my answer. With foveated rendering. With foveated rendering.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, and
Oh, you're always so
draw
unrealistic
distance,
with
draw
your
distance.
expectations, dude.
Yeah.
No, you're fucking
Don't be
insane.
ridiculous.
No,
Don't be ridiculous.
no, it's
They
not
can
possible.
scale everything down. It
You
won't
see
look
the
as good.
graphics
It
on
won't
those-
look as good. It won't have as much
These
draw
just-
distance. It won't
Well,
have
no
enough
shit.
detail.
If we put it
They
on,
can make it
on
run.
low settings that looks like cardboard, of course it's gonna
Yeah.
run.
Well, there you go.
Ugh, you fucking idiot.
I think
LA Noire ran on PS4
I think he's asking for like zero limitations is what I understood.
No, that's not
but,
going to happen. Obviously, there's going to be limitations.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If the game runs how it's supposed to run, I'm saying GTA 4, of course, GTA 5 with the 4K rendering, maybe.
GTA 5 100% could play with foveated
With
rendering.
4K rendering, yeah.
I think GTA 6 could as well. Same engine. All you do is scale down. It'll work. They do it. And it's not going to happen.
Well,
It's never going to happen.
well, yeah. If they lower the graphics, almost any game, you want to play fucking.
But not ridiculously low. I mean, don't forget, LA Noire ran on PSVR 1, and that was a full open world game that you could drive around in a car.
Yes, which is more comparable to Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft
Yeah, but
Auto
that's
6
PSVR
is going
1.
to be
With no foveated
Yes.
rendering.
yeah, and that was also a PSVR 1 game too.
Yeah, but my point is, like, it was still a big open world. It didn't look like shit. Like it was.
Yes.
It didn't look that far away from what LA Noire looked like. You know?
No,
The
it was
facial
good. It was a good-looking
animations were
game.
still really nice, and you know that was
I
like
just
the
don't.
key thing.
I think you're underselling like how big this game's going to be. Like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be like a monster in terms of like how many characters are on screen. Like you saw that shot of like
Yeah, but like the
beach, right?
traffic,
graphics,
all
too.
that stuff will be reduced completely. You know, they can scale
Okay, so
the
it's
shit
gonna
out of
have
that.
one person walking around, one prostitute, and the
Instead of
strip club.
100, there'll be like 12. You know.
God,
Yeah.
just tell him yes,
Anyway,
Musk, because he's never.
Listen, I'm a
I don't think you
professional. I
can.
know these things.
Clearly
Prove
wrong,
me
but
wrong.
whatever.
Prove me wrong. He has a second question though. Do you think there is a danger of Half-Life Alyx becoming outdated if it doesn't come to PSVR 2 soon? If it comes in 2025, will we still care?
Yes.
Yes.
I will still like to play it. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's
At
going to be
this
outdated.
pace, the games that we're getting, Bulletstorm, all this other, no offense, not the greatest looking games, gameplay. Nah, at this pace, fucking almost 2026, and it'll almost still be okay. The game is really good, and I've only played about an hour of it, but it's really good. The graphics
How
are
have
really
you
good.
not played the whole
Ridiculous.
game
He's
yet? You are
ridiculous.
so crazy.
I'm
What's wrong with this
busy.
man? What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
He's playing the finals.
like the
How are
one-
you playing the
it's
finals
like-
so much, but you can't play Half-Life Alex? It's
Listen,
crazy.
because the finals get in, get out easy. The fucking this other game, I have to put the VR and there's puzzles. I was like, oh fuck.
It's
And
the
then-
puzzles. That's the reason.
Puzzles.
You know,
It's the
listen,
puzzles.
listen. No. Listen, you guys make fun of the puzzles, but listen, there's no other game that is more complicated and more problem solving and more fucking intense than Dreams, dude. Dreams, it's not a game. It's not nothing. Dude, I spend the past 2 days about 3 hours every day, 4 hours every day, just trying to fucking figure it out. Something that it was not working. A character was inside of a car and it was moving and it was just like fucking going crazy. And it took me 2 days to figure it out how to make the puppet not move properly based on all the fucking settings. And you know how it is. So you've seen people. Have you seen that guy? What's his fucking name? Seraphin. Remember Seraphin?
Yeah, I remember
that dude.
him. I remember him.
All right, he made a Dreams game about No Man's Sky, pretty much, kinda, in Dreams. And when he opened the settings, the amount of fucking wires
wires
and
and shit.
mechanics, and I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" The Dreams. So yeah, I don't like puzzles, but I will be proud to say that I'm doing puzzles in Dreams.
All right. Well, you should be
But
able
yeah,
to
I
do the
don't-
puzzles in Half-Life Alex, and I'm sure they're way simpler.
It sounds like they.
But I'm already burned
Yeah, it
out
sounds like it should be a
puzzles,
piece of
dude.
cake.
My brain, the only wrinkle that I have is fried after playing Dreams or playing whatever it is in Dreams. So I don't want to go in Half-Life.
When I think
Once
when
I'm
I
done
think
with
of
Dreams, I'll
Half-Life,
go.
when I think of Half-Life, the first thing that springs to mind is not like puzzle intense. Like I don't
Yeah.
think
They're not
Half-Life is like.
intense though. That's the problem. They're really easy, but I just
There you go.
I can't.
Uh,
But yeah, Half-Life really good. Buy it.
So the only way I can see that like being too late or becoming outdated is if like a massive slew of AAA titles just get announced and start pouring out this year. That's the only way. You know,
Yeah.
if we had
Which
like
won't
20 Resident Evil 4 type games releasing this year, we're not going to get that. And even then, Half-Life Alex is like Half-Life is such a beloved franchise. There's so many people who love 1 and 2 and they want to see the experience Half-Life Alex for themselves. They wouldn't care how many other games there is.
Well, those graphics, from what I can tell, those graphics will hold up like 3 or 4 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
So
They look good.
I'll take it. I'll take it whenever they finally make it over here. But
Yeah, which is hopefully
I don't know.
soon, if it ever happens.
I don't know if it'll ever happen. I think it should have been done by now. Like I don't think like
What do you
Either-
think is not? I mean, that's one of the biggest fucking games that they will sell completely. Like, what do you guys think is the problem? Is it Sony?
Either Sony-
Is it the money?
either Sony went to them and said, "Hey, we would like to have your game on our thing," and it's a money thing, and Valve said, "Look, all right, it will cost you this much," and Sony said, "Oh no, it's too much. Forget about it."
$10 billion.
Or Sony went to them and said, "Yeah, we'll give you whatever you want. We just want that game," and they said, "No, we don't want it on your system." It's one of those two things. It's got to be one of those two things. Like if Sony never even like had the thought of getting it on their system, like I can't imagine that. Like they'd have to have like tried to contact them about it.
I don't think it's Valve gatekeeping us because they're pretty good about making all their games kind of multi-platform.
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly. So it's
Half-Life
got to
1
be
and 2
like
are everywhere. Like you can get them in.
it's got to be some kind of deal behind that's not like working or something.
If
or I don't know.
anything, I can see it being maybe Valve like just completely losing faith in VR. Like they brought out the Index, they brought out Half-Life Alex, and
Yeah,
maybe it didn't sell the
maybe.
way they thought it would, and then they're looking at PSVR 2 sales and like, well, is this going to be worth our time? You know,
Yeah,
It
for-
was
try to
a
port
hard
it over.
sell. I feel like when they brought Half-Life Alex, for the most part, it was at the time that still, for the most part, it was very expensive to get into PC VR. I feel like now it's different. Now it's a lot more affordable, and it's hard to get a lot of sales because, like you said, PC VR itself, it's a lot more dead than people think. And I feel like before it was even harder. I feel like right now it might start picking up a little bit because it's cheaper, but I don't know how many copies they sold because there was just not a lot of, like you said, VR people out there to buy the game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what motivates Valve, but I mean, the amount of headsets there are for PlayStation VR 2, like there's enough. Like you have to like what would you ballpark it if the Half-Life came on PlayStation VR 2? What percentage of VR owners would buy that like instantly.
I'd imagine
Like a
the same
pretty high
amount,
percentage.
the same amount who played Resident Evil 4. Like, you know, we got like
No.
79,000. I'd say it'd be on that level.
I think more. I think if Half-Life came to PlayStation VR 2, I think it would sell better than Resident Evil.
Really?
I think.
Even though Resident Evil is
Yes.
like a free update and
Well, you still have to own the game.
yeah, but it was on sale so many times. And even
Yes.
like when the VR mode launched, it was on sale, so it was like a really good.
But it's
steal.
also a horror game. Half-Life's not horror.
It
And
is.
it has some
It
scary.
is horror, isn't it? There's like zombies
It's
and
not a-
like head crabs jump on your face and shit. Like, isn't it?
It has creepy elements to it, but it's not.
Oh,
I
there's
wouldn't
like,
classify it.
okay, I haven't seen this, I haven't played it, but there is like one specific part, like a boss fight, which is supposed to be terrifying and like really well done apparently, but like a thing is stalking you throughout a whole level, and that's like a boss encounter. Apparently,
Yeah,
it's
like
scary.
I would say it has like creepy elements to it, but I would definitely not classify Half-Life as a horror game. That's
Okay.
not
All
what
right.
Half-Life is for sure.
Okay, I'll take your word for it because I've actually never played one. I played a little bit of 2, and it was like 10 years old by the time I played it. I was like, whatever, this is whack.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Son of a bitch.
Let me catch up with some comments. LSP says, I would gladly take a hit in the graphics department if it meant GTA would come to VR 100%. He also says, I'm going to start a new playthrough very soon, hoping to capture it. You mean GTA? Or you mean Half-Life?
No,
Alex?
bitch. Half-Life, probably.
Okay. Donnie says, Dreams is hard as fuck when it comes to the logic, etc. Tsuki says,
Everything.
their headsets also cost a tune of movie. I assume he means a ton of money.
It was just
yeah, how much is the Valve Index? Is that gone down?
It's a tune of movie.
A tuna movie? All right.
I don't know.
LSP says, trust
I
me,
feel
it
like
can be
after the
creepy.
Quest, not a lot of people buy that shit unless you're very into like VR chat or some shit like
Apparently,
that.
like the knuckle controllers, like supposed to be really, really cool.
They're expensive as fuck, though. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass. I heard to set them up. You have to like put the sensors on
the
all
space
this
station
stuff.
things all over the place. Yeah.
But the Quest 3, I think they're bringing up some type of like tracking shit without any of the sensors. I don't know.
Magic. All right, thank you, Jedi Knight, for those questions. We'll move on to Suki's questions. He's got 2. So his first one is, what do you think Sony will do with the Firewall IP moving forward? I think they'll do nothing with this. I think it'll be SOCOM.
I don't think
What are they doing with SOCOM?
I think they're not going to do anything other than. I don't even know like who they would get to patch the game at this point. Like if there is problems with it, I think like very very like patching like a bug or something would be like the very most that they would do. I think they're just going to let the game run, hopefully for like a good year or so, like as long as the player base is still around. If the place becomes like a ghost town and like they look at like routinely look to see how many people are playing it and it's like in the hundreds, like you're gonna be like, all right, well, shut this off, it's dead. So I don't know. It kind of depends on the community, I think, of how long it sticks around and how long they keep the servers running.
Like, I'll be
We'll
shocked.
see.
Be shocked if there's ever like a new Firewall game ever again. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like as much as we like to think it's like the greatest thing ever, the numbers like in terms of like earnings amounts and stuff like that, and like the general public out there, like no one outside of VR like gives a shit or knows about
Yeah,
Firewall.
IGN tweeted out like, well, I saw they made an article, but I saw the tweets where they're like, oh, First Contact Entertainment, the creators of Firewall Ultra, have shut down, and then in the replies it's like, what is Firewall Ultra? You know, people just don't know anything about Firewall. You know, like obviously we do, the people who are into VR know, but you know,
the VR, like PlayStation specifically. I mean, even PC would probably know something about Firewall just from word of mouth and watching channels and stuff. But yeah, like I don't think it's like we have to get this IP back on track.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Like SOCOM is way more recognizable, and they've just let that rot.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As much as I would like to say, like, oh yeah, they'll get another care of it and stuff.
But for what? I don't trust them. Who are they gonna give it to? It's not like in my opinion, it's not like the studio sucked. Fuck, in my opinion, I don't even know what happened, but in my opinion, Sony.
Yeah.
So I don't even trust them. If it was up to me, just give the IP to somebody. Don't work with them. Just fucking give it to them for cheap and let them fucking take over Firewall.
Let Hesp make a new studio, go in a Firewall sequel.
And let them just do their own thing without having to fucking talk to Sony bitches, you know?
Yeah. It would probably be way lower budget, but it would still be
That's fine. Lower the graphics. I don't care. Game is fun as fuck.
We've got another question from Tasuki, if you're finished with that one.
Yep.
He says, if you could have First Contact Entertainment come back and fix one issue or make one change that they had planned, what would it be? However, this,
I wonder what it is.
This excludes toggle grip, but could be anything else we hoped to get fixed or that they said they were working on but never got around to. Thank you for those questions.
That's rude.
Good questions.
That's rude. Rude, Tasuki. Rude.
Just one thing.
One thing.
I refuse to answer. I refuse.
I'm gonna say Ultra Mode.
Yeah,
that's what
Ultra Mode because that includes manual reload. I was gonna say manual reload, but if you say Ultra Mode,
multiple things.
Okay, now let's cut this shit. I told you it was in the spring of the moment. You guys believe now that the Ultra Mode was on the moment response of us talking all that shit, or did they already had it?
Always said it was a response to the backlash.
No, you were like, oh, they had it planned forever.
No, that's a lie. Prove us. Find us and prove it, because you will not.
I don't have time for this.
You won't
shit.
find us. You're lying. You're a deceiver.
Everybody knows
a spreader of falsehoods. I've always said it was a response to the backlash. But yeah, Ultra Mode is what I want most. I think maybe I should think about it more though. Is it? Well, you know what, grenades. Fixing the ways like grenades would be like, that's pretty high. Maybe I prefer that than manual reloading, to be honest. Manual reloading isn't that big of an issue for me.
Right.
If I had to choose something outside of my toggle grip, I would say take out every bit of eye tracking in the game.
Kind of cheating. That's kind of cheating because that's multiple things, but yeah, okay. I get what you're
outside of the foveated rendering. But yeah. But every gameplay element that has eye tracking, just wipe it all out.
Although technically, that's not answering the question, right?
Right.
So they have to fix one issue, but they wouldn't see that as a broken thing, so they wouldn't fix it.
Yeah.
Or I'm saying it's the issue. That's my question.
That's the question. That's the question. Well, okay, fine. I'll let it roll. I don't care.
I think it's a major issue. It's what killed the game, is having eye tracking and dividing the fans and not making it equal ground for everybody. It's a big problem.
Jackpot, do you have?
Probably the Ultra, because I would like the grenades as well, but I feel like the Ultra mode was gonna get two of the things that I really wanted, which is the manual reload, which is not as big of a deal, but I would have liked that a lot, and mainly the just the hardcore mode, and be able to get friendly fire, and also obviously fucking kill the other people faster. I feel like the amount of bullets that you need to kill somebody or down somebody in Firewall is just a little bit ridiculous most of the times. Unless you're the last person, then you get killed in one bullet.
Deadeye made a comment that, like, I know the toggle grip works. Like, I can press the grip button and snap my hand to the gun. That's fine. Like, that actually functions. Like, sometimes I have to press it twice or something.
Right.
That's not the problem. The problem is, like, once I have my hand on the gun, if I press the reload button, the animation should go me putting the gun in, and then my hand should automatically go right back to stuck on the gun.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to, like, press the button again to, like, put my hand back on the gun, because it's an automatic reload. I'm not doing any automatic, like, function. So, like, if someone's holding the grip on their gun and they press the reload button, as long as they keep holding the grip down, they're going to go through the animation, and then their hand's going to go right back to the gun. That's what should happen with me doing the toggle grip. It should be the same exact function.
There you
go.
But
that's what I mean by broken. Broken in terms of, like, not resetting my hand to the gun like it should be after I press reload or do an action of some kind.
Warroom has a good one. XP and private would be nice. That would be really cool if they had that, especially at the beginning. If that was there from the beginning, when we couldn't matchmake, but we could play privates, that would have made it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tsuki says they said they were going to add alternatives to eye tracking. We just never got it before they closed. Well, they did, at least for like weapon selection, they did hint that they were going to add different ways to select weapons and different ways to throw grenades. I think the big hint was that the Firewall 0 hour type of grenade throwing was going to come back, is what I feel was about to happen.
Which, I mean, it's another thing too. Like when VR was like starting out, a big thing that like most people really praised games for was options. Like, give us options. Like, that's like a big thing in VR. Like, because everyone's kind of subjective to like what they like. So the more options you have, the more like availability things that you like to do in them. That's all they had to do. Like, why didn't they just make it so like if you can play with the firewall arcing thing, or you can do the eye tracking, whatever you want to do. Like, if one works better than the other, then fine, use the one that works better. Well, fine, but I mean, if you want to do it, at least it gives you the choice. Like, you need to have the choice to play the way that you want. And I don't think it would have been game breaking if like one guy's using eye tracking, the arcing grenade, and I beat him. Then, well, you use the eye. You either get better at the eye tracking or use the arcing grenade. Like, you have to choose. Like, but at least give me the choice of which one I want to use, and it's up to me to play better than the guy using the eye track. That's just how it works. But
I agree.
Yeah.
Tsuki says, of course, Jackpot wants friendly fire. Donnie says, my only change for Ultra.
One time.
Shut up, bitch. Would be twice. You did it twice actually in the same match. My only change for Ultra would be replace the button layout back to Firewall 0 hour, which means other things would have to go, and more TAR implementations.
More what?
TAR, which was the tactical augmented reality. Basically, you can pick Sentinel, you can pick night vision goggles, but I think they said more were going to come, which is what Donnie's saying there. But we never got an idea of what they were going to be. Sadly.
Yeah.
So we'll never know what that was going to be.
Who knows what it would be? Maybe they could have brought out the what do you call it?
Thermal goggles.
Yeah, thermal. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say like look through walls and see like the body heat stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what would have been awesome?
Footsteps with thermals would be cool. Anyway, go on.
You know what would have been awesome though is if you have the thermal goggles and you can see through walls and see their heat signature. But you know, in some of those maps where you have like the vents that shoot down the heat.
Yeah.
If you're hiding in one of those rooms, the whole be like a blur because it was all heat.
Yeah. That
kind of shit would have been cool.
That'd be cool. Danny says the issue with the button layout was the lack of D-pad. Indeed it was. We've gone through all the facts machine. We've gone through all the topics. I think we're done here, lads. Jackpot has to go and play Half-Life Alex. Tackle them.
You do your homework. You do your homework, young man. We want a discussion on it next time.
Yeah, we want a full review.
Streams.
Jackpot review.
Fuck no.
What's the ETA on this Dreams project you're making? When's this coming out?
I'm close because I was doing it during Christmas time, right before my parents came, and it was a mess, and then a bunch of other shit happened. But I'm about 8 or 9 minutes created and edited. Damn. I probably got about
How long is it going to be total that you plan?
Probably, and I already committed to not add anything else because I just added another scene that it's taking me fucking 4 days to make. But I'm not gonna add anything else. But it's probably gonna be about 18-ish minutes, 16, 18 minutes. Jesus. Unfortunately.
How long was the first one?
19 minutes. And don't watch it, bitch. Don't watch it again because we might have to watch it right before we watch this one so you can remember. It ties all together.
Did you say go watch it or don't watch it?
Don't watch it yet. Wait until until I have it almost done, and then you can watch it again, or we'll watch it again.
Ooh, it sounds like a direct sequel. It's gonna go right in.
Of course. Because you're like, oh, how is this gonna play out? Oh, how there's no more after this.
Yeah, we're just gonna be totally lost in the story.
What happened after we started a band and started playing instruments on stage?
It took me years to come up with the fucking script based on the first one. So
damn, unbelievable. Jackpot,
No,
Spielberg.
it took me quick, but anyways, yeah, I probably
Get the end. Get the
2 weeks.
Oscar readies. Get the get
2
the
weeks.
shine
2
up
weeks?
the.
He said 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Reward.
maybe 2 weeks,
2
but I'm
weeks.
gonna need a couple of your nasty voice.
You keep
clicks.
saying that, but you never asking me for them, so I'm just going to...
Because I'm not in that part of the thing. I'm waiting
stop
down until the
asking me
end.
until you're ready for them then.
I'm just reminding you, bitch, that you owe me your life.
I think
because of what I did.
Phasmophobia will come out
you.
before this does.
Just clip all my lines from stuff
Yeah.
I say during streams and stuff. Just take my
Go
words.
through
And,
all the TTs.
No.
yeah. You can clip all my audio from whatever you say a lot, so you can piece it together and make me.
I
say
record all of you bitches in golf, and you don't know all of your
It's illegal.
conversations.
You're
are
going to
recorded.
prison. You're going to prison for what you're doing. pal.
Maybe in your countries, it's illegal.
Violation of
Not
my
here, bitch.
privacy.
To slightly freedom.
You need to announce that you're recording, Jackpot. It's the law. You need to tell us.
You did not have my consent. That's what I'm going to say every time I play. Every time I play golf with you, I'm just going to tell you don't have my consent.
Fucking legally, no, I'm not allowed.
Damn, he's gonna cancel us. He's gonna cancel us all. Damn.
LSB says Jackpot is very passionate about dreams. He is. Once you finish this, are you thinking you're done with dreams then, or are you going to keep doing things?
He's a creator.
I don't know because the reason why I'm doing dreams is just because it's fun and I like to just shoot the shit, right? And I laugh. Sometimes when I'm doing shit, I just laugh at myself. Even I like the shit that I try to come up with. But
All right, this is just getting sad now.
Yeah,
So let's
so
close this.
stoned on the couch going,
I might be done. I might be. I mean, how long did I did last other one? Like 2 years. So I don't know how long am I gonna take a break for it. But I do wanna, because I don't even want to stream. But let's say if I stream, I want to do little intros like you do. But my intros are made in dreams depending on the game, right? Like in Phasmo, I want to make a little 4 to 1 minute intro for Phasmo, and I'm gonna get all the clips of us playing that. You fuck you, but me, Decepticon, LSB, and all of us, and then make a little dreams intro based on Phasmo. You know, shit like that. I might want to do that, but dude, it's a lot of fucking work. The cameras, and it's not like you put a camera here and everything always fucking goes wrong. There's not a time that, oh, fucking, this works fine. No. Okay, I got this working. Okay, but now the tire just fucking flipping around, and it takes me 2 days to figure out why the fucking tire is just flipping off everywhere.
yeah. But for
It's
a normal
just a
person,
lot
it
of
would be
work.
like a 2-minute job.
Yeah, but for me, years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I love dreams. It's just the you can do anything. That's what I really fucking like. And you can, and I'm thinking about making a short, but like a game, you know, just for the shits and giggles. Obviously,
Yeah, you
I'll make a
definitely
game like the same theme, like something. I'll make a fucking theme about us or something, and I'll make little cutscenes and whatnot. But I'm thinking about doing a game too. But right now, I just want to fucking get this over with because I've been thinking about doing this for like 2 months. And I just want to fucking get it off my fucking brain already, dude. It's fucking
I know how that feels.
consuming me, you know? So, yeah, I hate you all, except Muzz.
We all hate you too. We all hate you too.
I
and Muzz
wanna
hates you
get
as well,
this-
by the way.
I want to get this stream over with. So.
Sorry,
So you can go pick up Amanda because it's raining.
It's
You had
freezing.
to ask him about the friggin'
Don't
dream
put it
right at
on
the
me.
end, didn't
Don't you put it on me. All right.
I
Bye.
hate you all.
Bye.
Goodbye.
What the fuck is this?